With your headlines at 1 minute past 10, I'm Nick Ellaby. Good morning. talkSPORT's Henry Winter calls it the very greatest England performance in his 35 years of covering them. Here's what our man of the match, Jordan Pickford, thought of it.
Unreal. You won't get much better than that. You know, we were, the manager taught about us, pounding the rock, knocking the rock down and they'll crack. We were the rock tonight and we didn't crack.
After England's backs to the wall 10-man 3-2 win against Mexico in the World Cup's last 16, Harry Kane told us he was surprisingly calm before his decisive penalty.
I think there was so much time in the game and I knew how important that goal was to give us a bit more of a lead, but went through my usual routine. I knew with the altitude the ball moves quick out here, so going for a bit more power would be difficult for the keeper, but I executed it well and I did that.
So, have England finally laid the ghost of Maradona's hand of God to rest? Despite that win in the Azteca, Jude Bellingham says we're still a few matches away from doing that.
The focus has to be on the next game now. We've done something incredible tonight, no doubt about it, and we'll enjoy it and we'll sing songs until we lose our voices on the plane and whatnot, but we'll have a couple of days recovery and then it's straight back to business in terms of facing Norway.
Jordan Henderson, though, not on that plane. He'll stay behind in Mexico after he injured his wrist in a fall during the celebrations. Thomas Tuchel called it quite a serious injury. Elsewhere, Belgium will appeal the decision to allow the USA's Folarin Balogun to play in their quarter-final. The striker's red card suspension was overturned following interference from the White House. And on the back of that, former FIFA President Sepp Blatter's posted to say football must never become a playground for political power. Neymar says his Brazil career is over after they lost to Norway, and Carlos Queiroz has stepped down as head coach of Ghana following their round of 32 exit to Colombia. More at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Prince Harry's travelling to the UK as The Times reports he's missed the King's deadline to stay at Buckingham Palace, and allergy pens are to be stocked in all schools. More with Emma at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. This summer, treat yourself to Bridgestone Turanza all-season 6 tyres with a 25,000 mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Rain across northern and northwestern Scotland, cloudy with patchy drizzle in Northern Ireland and northern England, dry elsewhere, sunny spells and breezy, very warm in the south.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is how to win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually...
Good morning, this is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs with you through until 1 o'clock here on talkSPORT. So how are we all feeling, England fans? Yep. Tired but happy, I'd say pretty much sums it up. Andy, is that you?
Fresh as a daisy.
Yeah.
Why so?
Well, if, you know, being tired can make you bad-tempered, so, Andy, we probably won't notice any difference.
No difference at all.
Anyway, what's coming up?
Coming up over the next 3 hours, former Newcastle and West Ham manager Alan Pardew returns with his take on England-Mexico. We'll also welcome your calls, emails, texts and tweets on this morning's game. And we'll talk Brazil, Colombia and everyone's favourite pub team, Paraguay, with our man in South America, Tim Vickery.
I was slightly worried they'd be waiting for Mbappe in the car park after the game.
They were so poor.
God.
Honestly, good riddance.
I know Tim doesn't feel like that. It's quite interesting. We'll talk to Tim about it later on.
An appallingly South American. It was disgusting performance.
Well, there we are. 03717. We'll also ask ex-Premier League ref Graham Scott what's the threshold for a foul in the Uzbek League.
Right.
And Spanish football expert Terry Gibson previews tonight's game with Portugal.
Yes, it's all this plus our official creature of the night, plus an unsolicited one, and our US football correspondent reacts to Balogun's presidential pardon.
Yeah, that's a new low. When Sepp Blatter's taking the moral high ground, you know how bad it is, of course.
Of course, everybody wants Andy Burnham to ring up in Fenty and try and get...
Yeah, well, he's not in place. Going to have to be... well, it seems unlikely.
I don't think he can because it was...
Well, Donald Trump seems quite invested in England's win. He was tweeting about England's win, so...
yeah, it was a red card, though, as we'll hear from Graham later.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, it is 6 minutes past 1. Just all the details to get in touch. We would love to hear from you, as well as hearing what you made of the game and the standout performances. We're interested in what was your viewing experience.
Yeah,
everybody had a different way of approaching it, so let us know, as well as giving us your take on the game. 03717 223344. That's 03717 223344. You can email us at talksport.com. You can text us 81089. You can tweet to TSH&J. That's TSHANDJ. 03717 223344. We look forward to chatting to you throughout the next 3 hours. But it is 6 minutes past 10.
As long as I don't have to speak, I'll be fine.
Yeah, are you really knackered, Andy? Are you all right?
No, I'm fine.
You seem fine. I wouldn't have said you're any more tired or curmudgeonly than usual. Anyway, it's 6 minutes past 10. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, everybody, Anne. What a great morning it is. What a fantastic game of football.
Yeah.
Really, that's the one thing about it, that we were all rewarded for staying up because it was so brilliant.
Something you said a little while ago when different things were going on with the ticket prices and the prices of this and the prices of that and the sort of nonsense we're getting with Infantino over Balogun. In the end, when it's just about the football, when it's purely the game, when you strip away all that Infantino FIFA, it's a brilliant game, isn't it? At its best.
That's why they can't ruin it. Whatever they do to try and ruin it, they can't.
No. Because at the core, it's a sensational game.
I was thinking, I bet they don't like the darts music at the Azteca.
Yeah.
I don't think Barry Hearn will be putting on darts there at the tournament.
Don't give him any ideas, he probably will.
But to be fair to the Mexicans, we've all seen reports, haven't we, that they just took defeat well, which is nice to see. And I thought it would be could go off a bit.
Considering how hyped up they all were and the kind of frenzy to come away from that and lose the game. But it was a sensational match, incident-packed, and as we said, we want to hear from you. I mean, it was a great weekend. We had the Cape Verde taking Argentina all the way, didn't we? We had some really good games.
Running, I did the same thing. They were 1-0 up. It was about midnight. I was thinking,
you thought it's done?
It's done. I'll go to bed. When I woke up, I couldn't believe it. My friend in Argentina, he was like, they were so nervous.
Yeah,
because obviously they were, like you said, they were a bit complacent.
They were. They knocked it about. They thought, we can beat this lot. We're just, we'll play within ourselves, and that you could see that. So that was a delight to see him taken all the way. Paraguay, of course, we'll be talking about that later on. I mean, you've got to blame the ref, really.
Honestly, Galazza must be the ref's nephew. How did he not get booked?
No. I mean, as we said, what is the threshold? I think the national sport in Uzbekistan is on horseback where you drag a dead goat around on a rope. So, I mean, that would suggest that the bar is quite high. The threshold is quite high for a free kick or a yellow card in Uzbek sport.
At one point in that game, they brought up the match momentum graphic. You think, you don't need a match momentum graphic. There's only one way. It's only going one way, isn't it?
Yeah, and so I think we were all delighted to see France finally do it. And it was that Sunday morning vibe of the player that's been kicked on a Sunday morning, and then they are waiting for Mbappe in the car park. Thankfully, it doesn't happen at that level, you would certainly hope.
I mean, the one on Barcola was just maybe he touched him.
Yeah.
We need Snicko to see whether he did or not, and he gets a yellow. But for them to commit 13 fouls, and Graham will be interesting on this, and not get one yellow, you do start to wonder what on earth was going on there, but there we go.
Alan Pardew is going to join us for a chat in a moment, and we'll get his take on last night's game. As I said, we're interested to hear from you as the way you approached it. I mean, on a personal note, I decided at 1:15 I was going to wake up and check whether it was a delay, and then attempt to get back to sleep again. So I did that.
I did.
Saw it was a delay, didn't really get back to sleep again.
Yeah, I did.
Didn't quite work out for me, that bit, really. And certainly afterwards, I might have got sort of half hour in, but you were just a bit pumped, weren't you? It's very hard to watch a game like that.
Yeah, it was.
And then just go, okay.
No, I needed to watch some of the after-match stuff as well.
So how did you approach it? Maybe you watched it in the pub. I mean, seeing how busy and how mad the box part. It could have been a game at 3:00 in the afternoon, could it? You wouldn't have known any difference.
All those people called Harry Kane getting a free drink.
That's right. That's what they... Oh, just a bit of breaking news. I mean, it's not a great surprise, but Forest have just confirmed that Oliver Glasner is their new head coach. So that one straight out of Forest.
6 months, probably.
Yeah, well, until he has a bad run of results. And then he emerges 5 minutes before the end of the game. Marinakis gets out of his throne in the main stand.
That'd be the end.
And that's the end of that. So, 03717 223344, talksport.com/H&J. Text to 81089. Tweet to TSH&J if you want to get in touch this afternoon, or this morning, should I say.
I thought with another thing for Graham, I thought they were cutting out all this nonsense at penalties. We saw 2 games.
Yeah.
Mexico did it. Paraguay did it even worse, scuffing up the spot.
Yeah.
Trying to put off the kicker. Goalkeeper in the face.
Yeah.
All that's supposed to stop. The referee just allowed it. Why didn't he just get out his yellow card and went, bump, 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 you 3, get out.
Yeah.
I
think Michael Oliver, we talked to Graham Scott about Michael Oliver, who's taken a lot of heat for 6 yellow cards in the first half. I don't think there was any in the second half, so it did its job. Had he been refereeing the Paraguay-France game, would have been probably would have been 3-0 France.
Yeah.
Because he would have dealt with it early on. It's not just the ref in that match, it's all of them.
I wish it had been 3-0 because you told me it was going to be up.
Yeah, so you put a bet on, because I went, actually, the one I went for earlier in the day, Morocco-Canada, I told you it was 3-0. Oh, no, 2-0, and it ended up being 3.
I know, what can you do there?
So, 03717223344, James from Oxford, worked for Royal Mail, so up for 6:30, went to bed at 6:30 p.m, alarm set, and slept through for the Brazil-Norway game, woke up 12:45 for England, 2-hour nap on the sofa for work. There we are.
Is there more sleep than normal?
Yeah, it's the jobs people are doing today after staying up all night. Currently, Stephen says, currently on site, up on a roof, grafting away, nearly nodding off. That's not good, Stephen.
It's dangerous.
As I said, any brain surgeons out, if you had your brain surgery earmarked for 9 o'clock this morning, I'd be a bit worried. Most memorable match I'd seen in 70 years as an England fan. And getting it from Henry Winter, as we did with Nick there. I mean, he wrote the book on England. So he has covered every England match in his research.
Tremendous performance.
Let's not underestimate just how exciting and how important a victory it was. But I think the lesson we take away, Andy's mantra since he's come in today has been, do not be saying, lads, it's Norway.
Yeah, but people are already doing that. I've heard it in the office.
We don't want any lads, it's Norway, because we know what Erling Haaland's capable of. Against players that he comes up against in the Premier League. Look what he did to Gabriel for the first goal.
The history of England-Norway is littered with 1-1 draws. So and also,
I think we've had 5 wins, 2 wins for them and 5 draws in the head-to-head.
It's the original. Has anyone seen?
It is the original. Jason's going to have to do it in Norwegian if England win. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? He can learn it phonetically. But, you're hearing a lot of the original Can You Hear Me, Maggie Thatcher, Lord Nelson, Lord Beaverbrook. You'll be getting the full Monty. If you think Jason invented it, kids, you're wrong.
He didn't.
Maybe we'll dust it. Come on, why not? It's good. Let us be the first to play it.
We should.
Because you're going to hear it a lot this week. We'll dust it off. We'll dust off the original. And you tell me there's also a Phoenix from the Flames, yeah?
Yeah,
that you did with the commentator. I think he's passed away now, hasn't he? Or,
yeah, I think he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So 2 things I want to happen today.
Yeah.
I'd love it if Belgium beat the US. That would serve them right.
But, right, because of Balogun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk to Brian Chiretta about that later.
And I just want to see Ronaldo crying because they've lost. That'll be the other
So you can tell he's had no sleep.
And I'm glad Canada are out because I don't like Grace.
Mr. Positive.
Jesse March either.
There was a comment from Richard Pochettino.
And I've had enough of Ross Kemp's performative videos.
Yeah.
Big close.
You don't think they're just in the moment then? Maurizio Pochettino on Florin Balogun says, my reaction is like everyone. I love the sport and trust the ethical integrity of it. We celebrate the decision. Well, I think, the other option will be to not pick him.
Yeah. Come on, Belgium.
Wow. For you to say, come on, Belgium, you still love Lukaku. Anyway, let us know how you viewed it. What was your experience, good and bad?
I don't think they will, but
did anybody sleep through it? Let us know.
Yeah.
Even Julia Hartley-Brewer of Talk Radio came in. She was punching the air. She watched it in delay. Got up with her husband and watched it like 6 o'clock in the morning.
There's another one that just said, it's Norway.
She's lads, it's Norway. Anyway, talksport.com/H&J. Text to 81089, tweet to TSH&J. Give us a call, 03717223344. Pards kicks us off. A considered pro's take on what we witnessed last night. Tuchel's tactical approach, his substitutions, the star players, I think we all know who they were, recovering for this Saturday evening's game or Saturday afternoon game in Miami, and lots more besides. We're here with our very good friends at Selco Builders Warehouses, where the trade go.
women managing in the men's game in general. Do you think attitudes are shifting now?
Well, I don't have any fundamental problem with anything as long as it's meritocratic and it's seeded in meritocracy. And so the idea that we have to have a woman in the men's game, we have to have a gay footballer coming out, we have to have these things, aren't necessarily part of my thinking. I look at it and go, I look past the person, I look past the sexuality, I look past the gender, and I look at the capabilities. And so I've watched her in the women's game. She's very, very capable. Now, whether that translates into a space where the scale of the game... Now, people will say the basic principles are exactly the same, and ultimately football is football. And then they'll make the argument in the next breath that you can't compare the women's game to the men's game because the women don't like it and the men's don't like it, and they're two different games. So which argument do you want to run? When you've got scale, physicality, expectation, pressure, and all of the stuff that we know at the elite end of the game, I think it doesn't translate as clearly and concisely to make that decision. Also, I'm perplexed by why there is this desire. When Serena Wegman was doing so well, all of a sudden the lobbies come up, we should have her as England manager in the men's side. Why don't you keep her in the women's game? I thought you wanted to advance your bleeding game. I thought you wanted your game to be as best it could possibly be. Why are you seeking to take your major assets out and put them into the men's game? And what I don't like, insofar as I have any investment in this, is this constant battling between the men's game and the women's game about what the men's game's responsibility is for the women's game, because once upon a time, you know, the women weren't able to compete in the 70s and 80s. Well, you can have the 70s and 80s back, because that was when the game was bankrupt, it was full of hooliganism, no one wanted to be involved with it. I'm not against it, as long as it's seeded in merit, and I think Emma herself spoke once upon a time about she wasn't going to manage a certain club at a certain level. I do not, with respect, see a female manager of a side like Manchester United or an elite side anytime soon, and that's not...
Hello, I'm Matt Fordham from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Different, better, unstoppable.
Hey Jude. Saka inside the penalty area. Stands up a ball and a diving header is in. And England silence the Azteca with Jude Bellingham on the score sheet. And now England have robbed them of possession again. They'll try and bring it forward. It's Bellingham again. And he slipped it to his right-hand side. And he scored again. It's 2 in a minute. Oh, bring on the Norwegians in Miami. Jude Bellingham on the double. 90 seconds ago to half-time. A left-footed away swinger headed down to chance. And somehow Montez has missed it. It's come off his thigh. And Jude's come from nowhere. Stuck out a right foot and send it behind for a corner.
Well, that interaction was as good as any of the goals he scored in this game, without a doubt.
And anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude.
Yes, time now to pick our player for Duracell's Extra Mile. Well, we pick those players who we think went the extra mile, those players that bring a game-changing performance and unstoppable power. In a brilliant team performance, there is no doubt that Jude Bellingham was key, as Stuart was saying there, that just before half-time to take us into 2-1, just getting that foot in defensively was as big as the goal.
When a commentator goes, what a goal, oh, and then it was.
Yeah, exactly. Alan Pardew, former West Ham and Newcastle manager, joins us. Good morning, Al.
Very good morning, guys. What a great morning.
Yes, indeed. How did you watch it all unfold? What time did you get up, or did you go right through? Did you manage to watch the Brazil-Norway game first?
I did. I watched that, and the Norwegians did absolutely terrific. So obviously they're our next opponents. Looking forward to that. And then that rain break was a bit of a killer. I was tempted to but yeah, I managed to see it through.
So no break at all. You've gone right through. You're sleepless, are you? Or did you get some kip after the game?
Yeah, well, I just had a quick hour this morning. But it was worth it, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Who cares when you get a victory like that?
Yeah,
the manner of it and everything about it was outstanding.
We got a right today off. Let's just talk a bit about Bellingham initially. I mean, you could see he was absolutely flogged at the end. He had absolutely given everything, hadn't he?
Do you know what? He had a couple of moments in the game. There was one sort of messy moment when he escaped from three players and made a run and got tackled in the box. He had that clearance off the line, the 2 goals. And then he did something, I think it was about the 78th minute. They had a corner, Mexico, and it was really turning the screw on us. And I see him, the ball was collected by the goalie, and he ran as fast as he could to go and be our striker position, our out ball. And I just thought to myself, that just summed you up. That you are an absolute outstanding individual.
I mean, let's maybe talk a bit about Thomas Tuchel and the way he approached the game, because it was pretty clear what he was doing, trying to take the heat out of it. The way we played.
Yeah, it was a good game plan.
We kept the ball. It looks like he got it spot on last night, Alan. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I think when you really analyse managers, it's important to remember where their influence comes. At the start of the game, you're right, he did that, and that was a good tactic. I thought after half-time, we was probably the best we've ever been in the competition. That sort of 10 minutes after half-time. So after we got him in the dressing room, we really come out with a sort of, our towels up and looking like we was going to push on. And obviously the sending off, sort of stopped that. But and then, of course, probably his best moment was the hydration break, the thing that we've been moaning about, and booing, etc. But he had a chance there to go to a backfire. It was a big call to do that at that time, and it turned out to be the correct decision. The 3 centre backs blocked everything, headed everything. Pickford come and got the dangerous ones. He was outstanding as well. So the interactions from the manager throughout the game were absolutely excellent.
It's true, because when you go down to 10 men, the temptation is to do that. It depends on the score and what it is. But we've seen in games where you go very defensive when you do that, and then you invite the pressure, and then you're in trouble if the other team do score, which we would have been last night if they'd equalised. But it worked, so you can't say anything.
And they lacked a bit of guile, didn't they? You noticed maybe he knew that they knew that their best chance of scoring was to keep doing what they're doing, which was swinging crosses into the box. They didn't really try anything else. And although that does bring its problems, and they did have a couple of half chances, that one was stones around the post. Generally, we did cope. When Big Dan Burn came on, we coped with it well, didn't we?
Yeah, really. When you get to that stage of and the team are pushing, it's very rare unless you've got an absolutely outstanding individual like a Messi or Ronaldo to have that sort of calm head, and Modric to carve out the moment. That's why I think we should have taken Palmer, because he's one of those players. And that's who Mexico needed last night. They didn't have one. And as you say, it became a little bit kind of predictable what they were doing. And Thomas got a game plan together that see it through. We still had outstanding performances, though. I think Dan Burn, who had the most blocks in a 15-minute period in the whole game, was just
amazing,
like an unbelievable stat.
One of the things people have been going on about, and it shows how much he does listen, was the wingers going on the outside past people. Loads of pundits have mentioned it. We've talked about it on this show. They did it last night, didn't they?
Yeah, I think when you go into a competition like this tournament, you start seeing people sort of grasping the occasion. And Gordon last night, Rashford, Gordon, which one will it be? He was outstanding. Every part of his game was on the money. I think that Barcelona move affected him a little bit, but he seemed to have got his head around it now. He really was a great performance. And now when you look at the team, you know, you have to say that I think he's nailed his position in there.
Mm.
So now we're starting to see the team. I'm guessing like 95% of the English public this morning could pick the team for Norway now, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think Saka was always going to play when they felt he was fitting up and up for speed. But you're right, that left-hand side was up for grabs.
He still looked rusty. He still didn't look right, or they put in the cross goal and that made it...
Oh, I don't think so. I thought he was terrific. And he had that moment in the first half where he cut inside and nearly scored. And then he went on the outside 2 or 3 times. I really thought he was a great performance.
So you feel he is kind of almost up to speed now? I mean, it seems like he could be peaking at the right time, couldn't he?
Are we talking about Saka or Gordon?
About Saka, yeah.
Saka,
Oh, Saka, no, yeah. Oh, okay, Saka, yeah, he still looks a little bit under the weather. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I was thinking about Gordon.
Yeah.
But he's still a great player, isn't he? And all this time he's getting under his belt, I'm sure, will be enhancing his kind of confidence in his body because he looked fine. So hopefully we get that 1 or 2 performances from him that will be on the level of Bellingham and Kane and what Gordon put in last night.
That driving run from Declan Rice, though, what he'd done,
for the first goal,
he'd done for Arsenal all last season. Haven't seen that in this tournament so far, but you wouldn't expect it in the altitude of Mexico. But he produced it. It was a great run.
It was a great run, and you're correct. It kind of really opened up the pitch for and a bit of space for Saka to attack the fullback. You know, as I say, we're starting to see really performances from individuals where they're just kind of cementing their position in the team. So that really bodes well for Norway. I thought the Norwegians were good, actually, really good against Brazil. So, you know, it's going to be a tough game, but you can't help but think that we got an outstanding chance.
We're going to have a chat with Alan about that as he stayed up and watched that game, where he thinks they're going to be a threat to England. There's one obvious place.
Yes.
Or 2, if you like, if we include Odegaard. But we'll have a chat.
Especially him.
Yeah, we'll have a chat with Alan about that. We'll talk about recovering from this because it took a lot out of them, but they have got, 6 days, haven't they? Well, 5 days. They play Saturday late Saturday afternoon in Miami. And other matters besides. Alan Pardew's with us, reflecting. You're telling us where you watched, how you watched, and what you made of the game. 0371722 3344. People have watched in lots of weird and wonderful places. Where's this one come? Watched in our hotel room in Crete, says
it's good.
Jackie and Mike. 2 hours ahead. My husband-to-be got engaged on Friday. Oh, congratulations, guys. Wouldn't have missed it for the world. Alarm set, and his commentary and celebrations probably could be heard back home in Dorking. So there we are. What a game, they say. We've even got a listener watched it in Saigon, where it was 8 o'clock in the morning to watch it. If only I can find that one. I'll find that in a moment. Anyway, it's Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT, and we salute Jude Bellingham for that incredible performance, and that was Duracell's Extra Mile.
Duracell's Extra Mile on talkSPORT. Different, better, unstoppable.
Tuchel won the Champions League with Chelsea on the back of not playing particularly attractive football, finding their way through games. So I don't think he really cares how England play as long as they win. And that's his mindset. And he will take the positive out of it. We won. We kept on going towards the end. Well, so you should. And with due respect to the Congolese, their game fell away as the game went on and they became stretched and tired. And for whatever reason, England were able to get themselves back in the game because of the excellence of Harry Kane. Poor goalkeeper on the first goal, which got us back in the game. Brilliant second goal. But you look at it, you go, Declan Rice is like a machine hitting dead balls in there. Look at the first 3 or 4 corners that he hit in. Bang, first man, bang, first man, bang, first man. All of a sudden he starts changing his corners to balloons across the box because he seems to have his confidence gone. You look at Rice and you look at Saka when they come on, they look knackered. They look like players that have been in a long season and haven't got it. And ironically for England, Declan looked better at right back than what we've got, and that might be a conundrum for Thomas Tuchel that he changes that. But I look across the field, Rashford no end products. Madueke, no end products. You know, you look defensively, the goalkeeper doesn't worry me so much because goalkeepers make mistakes. That's what happens in games every now and again. And sometimes Pickford makes wonderful saves. But I look at it and say, that is not a team, in my mind, that has any chance of winning this World Cup when it comes up against serious opposition.
What makes this remarkable is how differently you two see it.
Well, I think if you're English, you're going to see it with emotion as well. And I don't have any emotion in this. Like the only person on the whole team that I.
talkSPORT News.
Ronaldo Nazario. Need I say more? He's won it twice, played in 3 finals, was once its all-time leading goal scorer. But let me tell you about a day that lives in infamy in World Cup and Brazilian history. The year is 1998 and Brazil are cruising through the tournament in France. They've scored 14 goals in 6 games, 4 of them courtesy of R9. Brazil are favourites for the final, where they'll face the hosts at the Stade de France. But just hours before kick-off, while at their training base, Ronaldo suffers what's described as a convulsive fit. He's rushed to hospital, where doctors don't find anything wrong with him, so he insists he'll play. Back at the stadium, France are warming up, but Brazil, they're still in there. It's chaos. The Brazilian FA have just been given a team sheet without Ronaldo's name on it. But less than an hour before kickoff, a taxi arrives at the stadium, Ronaldo gets out and is shoved back into the 11. Brazil lose 3-0. It's a worldwide scandal. Ronaldo even ends up in front of Brazil's National Congress. He thinks he was suffering under the mental and emotional pressure and he just collapsed. It was truly incredible and made his redemption story 4 years later so much sweeter.
Good morning, Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Just to let you know that you can listen to the talkSPORT daily podcast live from Mexico City. Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearson, Jim Proudfoot bring your reaction in the latest one. It's available on all podcast platforms now. Alan Pardew pulled an all-nighter and he's going to talk a bit of Norway because the last thing... Alan, maybe we should make that point here because, as Andy said at the top of the show, the last thing we want to be saying is, lads, it's Norway. You saw them last night. Where do you feel they can get at England apart from the obvious?
Well, they made a conscious decision to keep possession without actually progressing, which was really frustrating for Brazil, but it kept Brazil off the ball. I think they might adopt that similar tactics against us. So they were passing it around the back. They went forward for periods, then they would go back again. And Ormeroyd was at the centre of that. He would go between the centre backs. I think we need to do a job on him. That would be something that I would look at if I was the manager, getting someone really tight to him, like a Bellingham or someone, and just keep him off the ball, keep him ticking them over. And obviously, when they get at the top of the pitch, they're not particularly a brilliant threat. There's nothing really too exciting, except that one of the best strikers of all time happens to be going through the middle and is in a rich vein of form. And our centre halves obviously got a hell of a job to look after him, because he has these periods of inactivity where you don't think he's involved. Last night, he must have gone 25 minutes, 30 minutes at times without touching the ball, and then bang, you find yourself behind. So they're a good team. They're a good group. Our prep is perfect because our momentum's great. And just a little, I just want to just go back to last night and just sort of tip my cap to the sports science team of England, because what a job in preparing that group of players. They were in outstanding condition, and mentally they was switched to attitude, and a brilliant job.
The other thing they dealt pretty well with, apart from just one early corner, was the flight of the ball. Alvin Martin was in last week, and he said it wasn't so much the altitude, because they had better prep time in '86. It was just the flight of the ball. You were overhitting passes, overhitting crosses all the time. They'd only had one training session there, and they dealt with that. The weight of the ball generally, when they didn't even go long, wasn't bad, was it?
No, but I think there was a couple of deliveries at the end that were absolutely magnificent from Mexico that were whipped in. We were lucky on one. They sort of fell into Pickford's arms, but that's the type of delivery you can get in thin air. I have to say, I was talking to a golfer yesterday, and he was telling me about how much further the ball flies in golf, as you'd imagine. I need a bit of thin air myself for my golf game.
Still got a problem at right back, even more so now.
Unless Donald Trump steps in, of course.
Yes,
but that seems unlikely.
Seems very unlikely.
Twice in a week, yeah.
They're relying on Reece James being fit, really, but with his history, I'm not convinced.
He did move Concert out there, didn't he? Briefly last night. Whether he goes down that route or Spence comes back, I don't know. Or that's the only options, really.
Yeah, I thought Stones did terrific when he come on. So that's an option to bring him back into the team. Obviously he knows Haaland pretty well. That would be something I think is a possibility. And move Konza out to right back. I don't think because Spence come on last night at left back, for that period, and he looked so much better, looked so much more comfortable. Round peg and a round hole for me. And although we can't really have that at right back, I think the better option is to play Konza there. And give us a bit more height as well at set plays, because they're a big team, Norway.
It's strange, isn't it, with Jed Spence? I've seen a lot of him as a Tottenham fan, and he looks so much more comfortable on the left, yet he's right-footed. He spent most of his career playing down the right. He did for Forest when he was there.
Came to people's attention, that's what he did.
Yeah, that right wing back, popping up and scoring that goal against Arsenal. It's strange that he looks so much more comfortable on his weaker foot, if you like.
Yeah, I remember at Crystal Palace we had Richard Shaw, who was heavily right-footed, but so much more comfortable at left back. I just think after a period of games, in the Premier League, you get a real confidence about where you are in a position. And I think he feels he's a left back. He looks more comfortable at left back. He has a confidence to play there. And sometimes when you change position, that confidence can quickly erode if something doesn't go quite your way in that new position. And so, with the scars that probably he's going to take from the right back performance of the last couple of games, maybe I don't think it's a choice. But as you say, we're limited on choice. That is a problem position.
We're talking about recovery. It's very interesting that both teams that played yesterday have got an extra day. They both play on Saturday, whereas the teams that play tonight are playing on Friday. I don't really understand why that's happened. It's quite an odd situation. There must be a reason for it.
I mean, recovery-wise, they've got a fair bit of time now, but they would have taken a lot out of them last night. But they'll go back to Kansas. You've mentioned the sports science team. They're doing a good job at the moment. I suppose you'd expect them to keep doing that.
Yeah, they seem to be right on top of it. And, as I say, the manager obviously takes the lead in that and guides them, but they have to deliver and make sure the boys are in great shape, which they were. Just going back to, the Donald Trump factor, if America get through tonight, they could change those fixtures around. You never know with Donald.
He could do.
He's
Yeah.
always lurking.
I can't make it Friday. Can we make it Saturday? I can't get to Miami
I'm
in
doing
time.
something Friday.
Well, he's not far from Mar-a-Lago, is he?
Not far. I'm trying to think, though. It wasn't that hot last night. Have England actually had to play in the heat? We played a couple of indoor ones, played where the temperatures were quite low. I'm just trying to think, because not that it'd be an advantage, because Norway also from Northern Europe, but playing in the heat of Miami, I wonder if that's going to be England's first really hot weather game. But I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
obviously, I think the Brazil game was like 36 or something, so it was a hot game for them, Norway. They cope with it really well. And as I say, that tactic of keeping the ball that they adopt is something we can't let happen. I think it'd be really amiss of us not to go and try and boss them and keep Ireland away from the goal by keeping possession and trying to get at Norway as often as we could. If we play like we did at the start of the second half last night, I thought it was absolutely the best I've seen us for many a year, and I go back to 1970.
Wow. So, yeah, sadly, so do I. And so does Andy. I think Andy goes back. He goes back even further.
1962.
Based on what you
1954.
saw. Yeah.
62, thank you.
Chile. Was it Chile? It was, wasn't it?
What you're about to say.
Yeah.
That one.
Battle of Santiago. We almost had the Battle of Santiago in the Paraguay game. So just based on what you saw last night, Alan, in the earlier game and what you've seen during the tournament, would you rather have played Norway or Brazil?
I'd rather play Norway purely because even though Brazil never looked quite at home in the tournament, they looked, there was gaps around them. I think we would have beat Brazil, but I think we'll beat Norway too. I think we know Norway better. I think there's a couple of equations with that Brazil. They could have took the lead last night. It'd have been very, very different if they'd have scored the big chance that they had. But I think Norway's better for us. We know everything about them. And we got a better group of players. We got Bellingham and Kane in top form. So, yeah, I definitely will have us favourites from that. And I think most of the betting agencies and most of the pundits will agree with that.
It's often a 1-1, though. I do fear that.
Yeah, it could be a long old night. There used to be a feature in Sports Illustrated magazine called Sign of the Sporting Apocalypse.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. And I think we could probably say the Balogun overturn would have featured in it. I mean, it's shabby, isn't it, Alan? I don't know what your feeling is on it. It just feels just wrong.
What do you mean? Sorry, what point are you making?
This is Balogun, who was banned for that.
The USA play,
yeah, and it's now been overturned because of a bit of presidential interference to Gianni Infantino. And the head of FIFA think it's fine to mess with the integrity of the game by saying, "Oh yeah, we'll suspend it," a bit like we did Cristiano for the first couple of games of the World Cup. I mean, the game's got to be bigger than one man. I mean, that's a horrible look, I think.
Yeah, terrible. And Rooney made a point last night, didn't he, about his 3-match game ban when he was doing the coverage, that they offered him the chance of getting out the last game. So they have manoeuvred the rules over the years. And why do they do that? What is the point of that? And it just makes the whole thing look a farce. I really dislike the FIFA chairman. I think he's an unsuitable character really to run the game. And the peace award to Trump, etc., etc. The fact sheet on him is not good, and this just sums him up really.
Just a quick one. Oliver Glasner's gone to Forest. Of course, did a great job at Palace. You never quite know what's going to happen with Mr. Marinakis.
Well, let me tell you, he doesn't want to come back to Crystal Palace a bit soon.
No, because they were expecting him to go abroad, weren't they, to pick up a job in Germany or beyond. So I wonder if he will get the bird when he comes back.
I'm just wondering, when you've got a chairman like Marinakis, who's got such a trigger-happy
reputation,
Alan, do the managers not think, or do they always think, well, I'll be all right, won't be me?
I'll be the one he can't sack.
Yeah. And Sean Dyche will probably tell you that he made that error with it by going under his management. Listen, this guy they deserve each other, in my opinion. You know, he is trigger happy. This manager is volatile. He had volatile moments at Crystal Palace. He's done an unbelievable job. And really, to sort of do what he's done, to go to a club that actually replaced Crystal Palace because they put in a heavy complaint about dual ownership and they dropped to the conference. So there's big feelings about Nottingham Forest. And then where does he end up? Go and manage Nottingham Forest. You couldn't make it up. I mean, look, I'm astounded by his decision. But okay, good luck to him.
Yeah, of course, all that European stuff. I hadn't really thought. You're absolutely
very good point, Alan.
Well, Alan, pleasure as always. Maybe you're going to go back to bed now, or are you going to just keep going?
I'm going to have an egg mayonnaise sandwich, a Bucks Fizz in celebration, and then I'm going to grab a couple of hours.
That might curdle. Be careful, as my old nan used to say. Don't let it curdle.
Yeah.
Cheers, Al.
I'm curdled.
All the best. Thanks a lot.
Alan. Great stuff. Brilliant.
Alan Pardew, their former Palace and Newcastle manager. Yeah. Like, you know, I'm sure the Palace fans have been saying this, but it hadn't struck me before. But all that bad blood and Europe and everything, he is going to get the bird when he goes back to Selhurst.
We've got to tell the listeners about Emma Cohen's driver who came in this.
Oh, yeah.
See if you can find anybody worse than this bloke.
Curmudgeons, football curmudgeons. Emma, who's just been reading the news for us, because it's so early in the morning, they get a taxi in for her. And she watched the first half, got in the cab fully expecting to enjoy the second half on talkSPORT, and the driver wouldn't put it on. He said, no, I have to concentrate on my driving. I mean, I suppose laudable, but I mean, a radio.
It's a radio.
There's nobody's going to be playing a trombone in the back of the car. And all the cabbies are out there today, have been awake all night. Charlie, the cabbie's been in touch. I say, I'm back in my cab.
Yeah.
Hope he's all right. Nobody doesn't fall asleep at the wheel.
That's not great, really.
No. Well, I think that's, people are just getting on with it. We just had a roofer who's up on a roof tiling it. He said, I've had no sleep. I'm a bit woozy. But that's the kind of day it is. Anyway, set my alarm.
I'd like that bloke to have said that to me about his radio.
Oh, yes, yeah. Set my alarm for 1 o'clock. Unfortunately, it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Woke up at half time, but overall thought I did okay. Well, I get some of your calls very shortly. 03717
did you fall asleep? Be honest.
Yeah, did you fall asleep? At what point did you fall asleep? And when did you wake up? We're here with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com.
I speak for Newcastle fans, for Villa fans, for a lot of fans whose clubs can't spend money right. Spurs have finished 17th 2 seasons in a row, right? And then teams like Aston Villa, who have just won the Europa League, are getting fined £19 million and can't spend any money. It's a joke.
They're obviously spending.
I don't care.
Blimey.
It's a joke. Your team as well, Manchester United. Spend whenever you want. The rules are a joke. Just what's the point, mate? What's the point? The rules are terrible, though, Andy. Come on, mate. Be real now. It's that bias, mate. It's that so-called top six bias. Clubs like Aston Villa and Newcastle can't buy anyone. But Spurs finished 17th 2 seasons in a row and then go and spend. What's next? Who's going to go and get next?
Just mad. Listen, I don't think he quite understands what FFP stands for because he's used Man United as an example. One of the biggest clubs in the world.
No, but I think he has got a point.
Yeah,
I think he has got a point about the fact that, and I feel for Newcastle and Villa fans because they've got one hand tied behind their back.
Yeah,
and they can't spend the money they've got. And now he's right. Villa are getting fined.
What did they get fined? 90 mil.
It was a lot.
Yeah, but it's one of them where. But the only way that obviously the club can grow is they have to get in the Champions League every single season. Now, with Newcastle and Eddie Howe, I feel for him because what's he supposed to do? You look at the recruitment they've had over the last few seasons where he's bought players for less and sold them for a profit. And then all these best players, Tonali's now going to leave. Bruno Guimaraes is now
Elliot Anderson's the one.
Yeah, but I think back then they didn't quite know that he was going to
but they had to sell him.
Yeah, because of the financial fair play.
Right, they had.
Get
Get ready to get that winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. This summer, talkSPORT is bringing you live and official coverage of every game of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And to celebrate, we're giving away £26,000 guaranteed. Go to win.talksport.com to enter now, and you could win 26 grand in your hand, tax-free. Enter now, and you could be the next to get that winning feeling, courtesy of talkSPORT Win. Find out how to enter now at win.talksport.com.
Spectacular lion-like roar from Andy alongside me.
A bit of a yawn there.
Yeah, sorry, a bit of a yawn, not a roar. I spent all day in A&E with my 13-year-old after he broke his wrist, says Kerry in Newcastle. Did it in a less embarrassing way than Jordan Henderson, mine.
Yeah.
Finally got to sleep about 1 a.m, set alarm for 2, watched it in bed, think I saw about every other 10 minutes and woke up every time there was a goal. But I have rewatched it this morning.
Oh, good.
Keep telling us where and when, the ones you slept through, have you gone to work and how you're coping? Sorry, I should say good morning to Curtis, the Arsenal fan who I saw in the street on my way, and just want to have a chat about the game. It was that kind of game, so good to meet you, Curtis. John is a Spurs fan. Hello, John.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Andy.
Hello, John.
Yeah, John. So
John got a new moat.
Yeah. So tell us, how did you manage to watch it all unfold? Did you pull an all-nighter? What have you done?
Oh, I've been up since yesterday afternoon. And, I'm going right the way through.
Not until Saturday night, surely.
No, yeah, I'm going to do. I think I'll drive a space shuttle tomorrow. But no, I mean, I've done your Creatures of the Night segment on Friday morning.
Oh yeah,
Portugal versus Croatia, and I thought that had everything, that game. But last night, I just. Everyone who I was with, because I was in a bar over in Collier Road, Romford.
Yeah.
I was just like, everyone was like sitting there, and then the first goal went in, and you thought, this is it, we're going to be playing defensive. And then the second went in, a table went over, beers went everywhere, and that was it. It was just one of them nights. It had everything, and I mean everything.
Was the pub packed, John? Was it a full house in the bar in Romford Way?
It was quite busy, and everywhere, like, even afterwards, I was driving back home. I mean, I don't drink, so I was driving back home this morning, and I was like, you can see people coming out of the bars and that, all pumped up. Like, you could think, you're definitely not going to work today. So it was a fantastic. I just can't get it out of my head, to be honest.
Are you going to watch USA Belgium tonight at 1 a.m?
Yes, I am, and apparently Donald Trump is going to be refereeing.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
It's funny what you said. Emma, who reads our news, normally comes in at around sort of 4 a.m. ahead of her shift, and she said it was surreal because there was as she drove through, it was really busy in London as she came in, and the route in, and people were sitting outside pubs with full pints at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was an absolute complete one-off, wasn't it? John, thanks for your call. Appreciate it, and thanks for doing Creatures of the Night.
Yeah, well done, John.
Have a chat with Phil, the Manchester United fan. Are you, Phil?
Hi, morning, lads. You all right?
Yeah.
How are you both doing? This is actually the third time on today.
Oh, blimey! You're so I think if you keep phoning talkSPORT, you'll stay awake. So what did you do last night? How did you watch it all unfold?
I worked Saturday, so I could have today off.
Right.
I'm a gas engineer for Cadent, So do all the digging out of the roads and all that, getting gas to people's houses. So the boss, the ganger of our team, he's wiggled it so we can all have the day off as long as we.
Okay. So if you get a gas leak today, unfortunately,
bad luck.
It's not going to be coming round.
I'm not coming around today. Sorry about that, boy. I've left all my gear at work. I've
dear.
not got boots on me. I've not got. I've not got my ad out.
So how did you? What about the performance then, Phil?
Well, it took me breath away, to be honest with you. I know what everyone's going to say. Oh, it's only Mexico. It's only this. No, it's Mexico in the Azteca, and they've not lost for God knows how many games. I think it's something incredible, like 89 games or something anyway. And yeah, they might be not playing the best opposition, but neither do we when we're qualifying. And they've not lost, and we've gone there. And with all the trials and tribulations that we've had, with all the fans trying to keep the players awake, and to try and use the dark arts with outside the hotel with the fireworks and stuff like that, and we've just come here and we've gone up that mountain and we've tamed that beast. And I tell you what, right, bring on the Norwegians, bring them on. Right, they might have beat Brazil. But, to be honest with you, I think this is one of the worst Brazil sides I've ever seen in my life. When I was a kid growing up, I could name every single player in, the Brazil squad. Near enough. Definitely the first team. Now, I struggle.
They have lost a bit of mystique.
I do think that's a bit of a dangerous thing, though. I respect your view, but I think you have to give Norway their due.
I mean, are you a City United fan?
United, I think.
Oh, you're Manchester United, so
my blood is red for a reason.
But the damage, against your team. You know the damage that Arla can do in an instant.
It's amazing. I mean, you made the point. I mean, I've heard people.
Haaland, Odegaard. I'm sure I've got a couple of other Premier League level players. What is it, Hodgberg as well? Did he play for him, or is that he just played for Denmark?
No, he's Denmark.
I can't remember. But they've got players which they're playing all the top leagues, and they're going to be no mugs.
Noosa's good. Noosa's looks a good player. Yeah.
We've got Kane, we've got Bellingham, we've got Rice, we've got Jordan Pickford, which probably gave his best performance in an England shirt yesterday. Last night I couldn't believe some of the saves that man pulled out. The guy was like a cat.
Yeah.
Between them sticks.
Phil, we got to go. We got to go to the news. But thanks for your call. Enjoy your day off. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We're going to hear from some of the other callers this afternoon.
Saying it was only Mexico is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Nobody was saying that pre-match.
No, I don't buy that at all. It was anyway. It's been an interesting weekend for refereeing. The Uzbek referee in the game between Paraguay and France gave one of the most extraordinary performances, and all the officials who seemed blind to everything, who gave him no help. Graham Scott on the big calls in the England game last night, and some of the other trends we've seen amongst the referees, and England going deep in the tournament. Bad news for Michael Oliver and Anthony Taylor, of course. But we'll be doing that. Tim Vicker is going to join us to talk Brazil. Seems Ancelotti wants to stay, but do you think he will? We'll find out from him. We'll talk Paraguay and a bit of Colombia, who are still very much in the mix. That's all to come in the second hour of the show. More of your calls, 03717 223344. Keep calling us to tell us about the game and how you watched it all unfold. talksport.com/H&J. Text to 81089 or tweet to TSH&J. We'll get the sports headlines next.
The Triunda match ball, Martin, the Adidas match ball, made for this year's World Cup, was made specifically for moments like this, because it has a microchip in it that can detect when the ball has been touched. Now, that's hard if you're Croatian.
Of course it is.
But the decision's right.
Yeah, we have to trust the technology.
The naked eye, though, might be telling you something else. It's very difficult to see any kind of touch on that. And this game, Jim, was giving everything. If you just sat and watched this game, amazing. One of the best games I've seen. I think Croatia, unrecognisable. Portugal don't look like they're going to go through, by the way, against Spain. They're just not going to happen now. But at the end of the day, I thought they were unlucky. But we trust the technology, but they were desperately painful to see that happen. We're surrounded by Croatian fans in the hotel that I was in last night, and they were consolate when it went against them. They were just gutted everywhere.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel fair, but obviously we trust the technology, and that's it.
Well, that's it, man. I mean, Simon, a lot of people will say, and they are saying it here, surely it goes against the spirit of the game. The spirit of the game. It was the faintest of touches. The sensor picks it up. The snakeometer's onto it. No goal.
Depends what you want, doesn't it? I mean, what is the spirit of the game? Is the spirit of the game simulation and diving and all kinds of things? Is that the spirit of the game? Is it constant griping and whining about referees' decisions? Is that the spirit of the game? I mean, I know that people say now because they're entrenched in a position, and I think that people should always be prepared to change their mind when the information changes. When people have made their mind up, they've decided that VAR is not what they wanted, despite years and years and years.
Lots more to come this afternoon. Tim Vicker and the South American clubs will talk that Uzbek ref in the Paraguay-France game and lots more besides, and the big calls last night with Graham Scott. But first, Nick Ellaby has the sports headlines.
Talk Sport.
Thanks, Paul. Good morning. How much sleep have you had?
Because, baby,
I've been doing this for 35, almost 40 years watching England, and I will put that absolutely up as the very greatest.
For talkSPORT's Henry Winter, there were Lions all over the Azteca pitch in England's 3-2 win over Mexico. Down to 10 men, problems at right back, Rice on a yellow after 1 minute. Harry Kane told us England still found a way through.
That's only going to give us more momentum, more belief, more togetherness. Nights like this will only help that. So, I just want to celebrate it. I don't want to think about the next one yet. I want to celebrate this for the next couple of days, and then obviously our full focus will be on Norway.
Meanwhile, Thomas Tuchel's called last night's officiating not good enough. He couldn't believe the VAR intervened to send off Jarell Quansah.
I still struggle with the decision because it's no foul given, and then it goes straight into a red. The penalty, I think VAR can never get involved in a penalty like this. This is never a clear and obvious error.
Maybe Sir Keir Starmer can call Gianni Infantino about it. Following Balogun's overturned suspension threatens to become one of this World Cup's biggest stories. After the White House helped overturn the USA striker's suspension, UEFA now say a red line has been crossed. Belgium are appealing the decision before their quarter-final. And Nottingham Forest chairman Evangelos Marinakis says he shares his new manager's relentless desire to succeed as Oliver Glasner is officially unveiled at Nottingham Forest. He's looking forward to a long future at the City Ground. There's more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
No room at the Palace for Prince Harry. Royal sources say he's missed the King's deadline to stay there, and UK fighter jets have intercepted a Russian patrol aircraft. More with Emma at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Heatwave outside, oven inside. Stay cool this summer with a free aircon check. Book online or visit your local QuickFit today.
Rain across northern and northwestern Scotland. Dry for most of us with sunny spells. Breezy, very warm in the south.
Get ready to get that winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. This summer, talkSPORT is bringing you live and official coverage of every game of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And to celebrate, we're giving away £26,000 guaranteed. Go to win.talksport.com to enter now, and you could win 26 grand in your hand, tax-free. Enter now, and you could be the next to get that winning feeling, courtesy of talkSPORT Win. Find out how to enter now at win.talksport.com.
Good morning, it's Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. We're all quite chipper, although a little bit knackered, let's be honest.
Good.
Much like you are. You're telling us how and where you enjoyed the game last night, in what circumstances. Go on, be honest, did you fall asleep? They wanted to admit it. 03717223344 if you want to react to the game, your thoughts on that, your thoughts on Norway next, and also how and where you watched the game. People have been getting in touch today. Steve Baker, the football coach, regular listener, my match experience. I'm in Spain, so kickoff was at 3 a.m. Fell asleep, woke up at half-time. TV in the hotel froze for 20 minutes.
Oh, dear.
Fell back to sleep. Woke up 10 minutes after the game finished. Didn't see 1 minute. Old Steve.
That's not good.
Professionally. Yeah, I'm sure he's caught up with it since, but thanks for getting in touch. So, a bit of breaking news from the Premier League. Tottenham have just confirmed the signing of Sandro Tonali from Newcastle United. There was a lot of talk about why it was taking so long to release the Moody video, and they were saying, Nicola Berti's going to fly over. Is Gaza going to do it? But no, it's James Maddison gets the honours to talk about how excited he is to have Sandro Tonali join the club. So that has been confirmed, although I think we knew from that interview last week when Tonali confirmed it himself that it was definitely happening. I'm very excited about the signing, understandably. I think he's a great player and profile of player. Tottenham have not really signed for some time, certainly not for that sort of money. But there we are, Sandro Tonali.
Bit injury prone, but there you go.
Yeah, you'll be hoping so, won't you?
Obviously.
Of course, yeah. Anyway, so bitter. Anyway, Graham Scott joins us now, former Premier League referee, because it's been quite an eventful weekend for the officials. Hi, Graham.
Good morning.
Let's start with England. We just heard there from Thomas Tuchel in Nick's bulletin talking about the penalty decisions. I mean, even us hard-bitten England fans have to admit that you can't really argue with the first one. And unfortunately, no one wants to see penalties for the second one.
I didn't think it was a penalty.
But to use the term in law, even though it's a pretty hateful way to get pens, just kicking someone's leg like that, it was a pen, wasn't it?
I guess so. It's a classic VAR penalty, isn't it? I think if we go back 10 years, we never gave those. We wrote them off as normal contact. Both players have got their eyes on the ball. They're trying to kick it. Sure, one gets there first, but it's not the same as a tackle where the player goes into the tackle, doesn't get the ball and takes the player down. That's very different, which is also what happened to Anthony Gordon. It doesn't feel like it should be a penalty, but you do a forensic frame-by-frame check. Technically, go on then. I would have given it grudgingly if I'd been VAR, but the expectation nowadays seems to be that they will be given. So that's what the VARs and the referees end up doing.
Kane said he thought he touched it first. I mean, he would think that, I suppose, but
there was no real evidence of it.
In fairness, he may well actually have thought he got a touch on the ball. I could understand that. But I think we have to accept down the other end. Of course, we'd want it. So kind of it both ways.
The Quansah one you can't really argue with. It's over the top of the ball. He makes contact. I don't think there was any England fan saying that shouldn't have been a red card.
No, I think we'd absolutely expect one the other way, wouldn't we, if that was a tackle on one of our players. So he's a bit unfortunate because I don't think he goes in with malice, but he does go in at enough pace, and the contact is with his studs, and it is high. Once you skim the top of the ball, you're in big trouble. So again, I do think that's just a stick-on red. Well, the first time I saw the replay, I just thought it's just a red card. There's not going to be no other option here.
What about, Graham, the pressure of refereeing in a match like that with a home crowd baying and the fans, the players, every decision was disputed? He didn't do too bad, did he?
I thought he had a good game, Graham.
He did. And Ali Reza's been around forever. It's his fourth World Cup. He's the first referee to do 4 World Cups. So, he couldn't have had more experience. He's Iranian, who moved to Australia. I suspect I don't know his full personal history, but I suspect there's a bit of background there that's toughened him up and is pretty calm under pressure. He certainly kept calm yesterday. And I thought he did have a decent game, despite being sent to the screen twice for 2 overturns. Normally as a ref, you think, oh my goodness, I've had a shocker. But I think we can forgive him both in the context of how they came about. So, no, I thought he actually kept on the level and didn't let the crowd influence him unduly.
Andy made a point earlier on. I thought he was spot on that It seems the refs are indulging that kind of time wasting, delaying the penalty,
harassment around the spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they're
supposed to cut that out.
A few more people aren't flashing yellows and putting other people off of doing it.
We need to do something because it is getting out of hand. It's become a clear tactic. It's not happening by accident, is it? The players are trying to delay the kick as long as possible to make the kicker more and more tense around what they've got to do. The scuffing up of the spot and all of that. I mean, I think there's a role for the assistant referee to come onto the field. They just stand on the goal line waiting for the goalkeeper to get into position. They're doing nothing. They could come on and supervise the penalty spot, and the referee could deal with everything else. But clearly, we need to see some action from the refs to stop it. And I mean, we have enough VAR interventions and everything else. I mean, someone scuffing the spot is such an egregious act. It's just a terrible thing. Oh, what are they doing? So, maybe they could get whispering the refs here there, but. Yeah, it just does my head in as much as it does everyone else's, I think.
The Paraguay one was even worse.
Well, we'll come on to that.
Ludicrous.
That's a whole conversation in itself. Michael Oliver has taken some stick for his performance over the weekend for his 6 yellow cards in the first half. Interestingly, none in the second, so maybe he set the bar there. I mean, what was your take on the performance?
I think that's exactly the argument. So I thought he did really well. Of course, I'm biased, so people will probably go, oh, well, you would say that. But if you compare that to the Paraguay game where the referee gave no cards to the Paraguay players, look what the consequences were. And actually, generally you find if you have a busy first half as a ref with lots of disciplinary actions on, the second half settles and plays and goes your way. And that's what seemed to happen to Michael in his game. Whereas the Paraguay France game just degenerated, didn't it, into a free-for-all. And give me the cards in the first half and a calm second every time over what we had in the France Paraguay game.
Before we come on to that, how do you think referees? I mean, they're all, we were fortunate to go to the referees' hotel back in Brazil in 2014. Now everybody congregates, sits around, talks about stuff. How will they feel about seeing a red card, albeit a harsh one, overturned effectively by the president leaning on the head of FIFA?
I think they'll feel exactly the same way as everyone else. I don't like that red card to the USA striker, but because I don't think it's so accidental, clearly. But the ankle, we see these still images, and we end up with what we do. But you can't then overturn it. And whether it's a can of worms or Pandora's box or whatever it is you want to open, it does create all sorts of problems going forward now. And I don't think there's any justification for the overturn of the suspension. It'd be interesting to see whether he gets picked tonight. The noble thing to do for the Americans would not select him, but I guess we'll see.
No, they're going to play. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure. Of course.
From what Maurizio Pochettino said, he says he wants to respect the integrity of the competition, but it's great news for us. So that would suggest he's going to play.
Yeah. Let's hope there's a bit of karma going around. That's what I'm hoping for.
Before the game between, got to come on to Paraguay, France finally. A South American football journalist, Daniel Maciel, tweeted this. The referee assigned for Paraguay, France is Ilgiz Tantashev from Uzbekistan. I'm guessing he probably landed at Tashkent Airport sometime last night. Main characteristic of his refereeing is tendency to let the game flow, allow a lot of physical contact and sanction few fouls. It often generates strong debates, especially in high tension matches and knockout rounds. So it's not like the people who allocated in the game weren't warned, because there was always a danger. I mean, Paraguay didn't play like this against Germany, but there was always a danger it could go like that. It's not just him though, Graham. I mean, he hasn't got eyes in the back of his head. That's why we have assistant referees and VAR. No one helped him out. He was a disaster, and they didn't help him.
When you see a game, Graham, where only French players get booked and 13 bad fouls committed by Panama, no yellows, you do start to wonder what on earth's going on.
Agreed. Absolutely agree. It just felt completely wrong, and the balance wasn't right. If you take the example where the incident where Mbappe gets kind of taken out of the ball with a kind of swinging arm into his chest, for me that's a problem with the VAR protocol, because I think you could make a case for a red card for that anyway, because he's clearly done what he's done. I had one of these at Chelsea a couple of seasons ago, Chelsea-Bournemouth, where it's off the ball and said no one's seen on the field at all, and you can understand why no one saw it. And I just sent the ref to the screen. I think this should be a red card, but it certainly got to be something. We can't let this pass with nothing. The referee got to the screen, decided to give a yellow, and everyone accepted it. The game moved. At least it'd been dealt with. But instead it gets passed off as if, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. And that just sits wrong. It just can't be right. So I think if there's a clear off-the-ball act or borderline violent conduct, we should get the referee to go and see it, because that kind of event shouldn't be happening on the field at any time, and that player should definitely be getting at least a yellow, and you could make a strong case for a red.
And had they taken the Michael Oliver approach, had he refereed that game, he would have dealt with 2 or 3 of those. France probably going to win 3-0. So Paraguay say, job done. But if a referee doesn't deal with that, then the players feel they can get away with it, and it just descends, doesn't it?
I don't want to compare them too closely like toddlers, but you do have this thing, where are the boundaries? Tell me where the boundaries are, and I'll push them. You need to draw a line. And Michael did do that in his game. He drew a line very early on. He gave 2 yellow cards for 2 players who squared up to each other and then stuck to his guns all the way through the first half. And it worked for him. I suspect he's not going to be landing in Newcastle or London tomorrow morning, because he'll hopefully be getting another game. Yeah. Although, of course, if England get through past the quarterfinals, he will be coming home, unfortunately.
Yellow on Barker, that's one of the worst decisions in this whole tournament. You needed Snicko to see, he never touched him.
I mean, it was farcical. Graham, a pleasure as always. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us. Graham Scott, former Premier League referee and the Athletics refereeing correspondent. No, he said, thanks, guys.
I thought he said up the Spurs.
I think,
blimey.
Blimey, we're living inside your head rent-free today, aren't we, Tottenham? Blimey. He's hearing. He's now, that's the lack of sleep, Andy. Graham Scott would not say up the Spurs, would he? He just wouldn't. Okay. Sepp Blatter's coming on later. He said up the Spurs as well. That's how he signed off. UEFA, they're all saying up the Spurs. They love it. Anyway, we're going to have our Creature of the Night, and an unsolicited Creature of the Night, believe it or not. Someone actually volunteered when they weren't asked to start. And I think we all did, didn't we? 03717223344. More of your calls coming up. We're here with our good friends at Selco Builders Warehouse. It's where the trade go.
Likeability still favours Messi, not Ronaldo.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe that's due to appearance. Maybe that's image. Yeah. Maybe that's like you feel that Messi. I mean, they both love the game, don't they? Immensely. I think Messi. If you have a favourite, I think Messi for me is a better player, slightly better player. But there's not much between the two of them. You have to admire what Ronaldo.
But he's Messi's an unchallenging. He's a diminutive little goblin, isn't he? Whereas you've got this 6-foot Adonis of Ronaldo that challenges the way that people look at the world, and he's quite strong in his views. Obviously, he's been outspoken. He's had controversies in his life that Messi hasn't had. These unfounded but strong allegations made about him that have reverberated through the media, and he divides opinion in lots of ways. This argument, I think it's a reductive argument about who's the better player. I just want to celebrate both players. They're both absolutely remarkable players. And every time you open your mouth, I mean, you listen to the social media trogs that spend their entire time being insulting about the fact that someone might think that Ronaldo's better than Messi. I make the case, and I don't know whether it's a good argument or not, and Martin can weigh in if he thinks it is that if you've played and won in every country that you've been in, whether it's Portugal, whether it's the UK, or the Premier League, whether it's the La Liga or Serie A and into Saudi as well, and being a standout player, I personally think that's a calling card for the reasons why you might be considered able to be the greatest player.
If you want Portugal to win this World Cup for
just to go back to that, if you were to swap them over, if you were to put Ronaldo into the Argentina team, I don't think they'd be world champions. I think that's the difference. I think Messi,
based on what?
Based on the way that he connects with the team. Messi, everyone works for him. With Ronaldo, you don't get that same feeling in a Portugal shirt, and they've got massive talent around him. You know, look at the number of the players that are in there.
Yeah.
Great players.
Oh, yeah.
But Ronaldo, I think, he's older as well. He's 3 years older. Messi's still got that.
Get ready to get that winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. This summer, talkSPORT is bringing you live and official coverage of every game of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And to celebrate, we're giving away £26,000 guaranteed. Go to win.talksport.com to enter now, and you could win 26 grand in your hand, tax-free. Enter now, and you could be the next to get that winning feeling, courtesy of talkSPORT Win. Find out how to enter now at win.talksport.com. Win 26 grand in your hand, courtesy of talkSPORT Win.
Yes, what a morning. England are through, everyone's buzzing. The World Cup dream is well and truly alive, but no one sang, lads, it's Norway. talkSPORT has commentary of every single game, and to celebrate, we're giving you the chance to win £26,000 cash, completely tax-free. Continue your winning streak and enter now. Here's how, Andy.
For your chance to win, visit talksportwin.com or text WIN to 83338 by 6 p.m. on the 20th of July 2026. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or send your name and number by post to Comp 1, PO Box 3190, Colchester CO2 8GP, to arrive by midnight on the 23rd of July 2026. 18 plus, UK residents only. Your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. Network promotion, full T's and C's at talksportwin.com.
Let us know you enjoyed the game last night. Steve from Sunderland says, I kept myself awake all day and night on Saturday and slept all day Sunday with the alarm set for 12:30, and I've been up since.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I could sleep for that long. Watch the England match now. I'm at work and have not been to sleep, but worth the tiredness, he says. It's coming home. Andy in the West Midlands, just my luck, was at Silverstone yesterday, so was up at 4 a.m. Tried so hard to stay awake to watch the game, but nodded off, only to wake up at 4 a.m. this morning. First thing was I grabbed my phone to check the results. So, happy, but obviously sad he missed it. The creature of the night here on talkSPORT watched it for us. Was it just Tom, the Leeds fan, watched it? And then we have an unsolicited one, believe it or not. More on that in a moment. But Tom, you're our official creature of the night.
Tom Clayton, is it?
I don't think it was Tom. That could be. Take it away.
England have never been knocked out of the World Cup at the same venue twice. So can they avoid a Mexican wave farewell to their hopes on their Azteca return?
30 minutes gone, and redolent of the Brazilian game with a poor touch for the striker going through, in this case Saka. Good chance, in fairness. Maybe they'll look back on that one.
Saka inside the penalty area, stands up a ball and a diving header is in, and England silence the Azteca.
It had to be Jude Bellingham. Wow, etching his name alongside those at the Azteca, Pele, Maradona, and now Jude. Wow, what a wonderful diving header and a wonderful goal for England.
Bellingham again, and he slipped it to his right hand side, and he scored again. It's 2 in a minute.
Bellingham, yes. I can't shout too loud, I don't think the neighbours are watching it. And our lass definitely, and she's upstairs in bed. I can't believe it. Oh, the man for the big occasion, Jude Bellingham. Wow, he's come to the fore just when we needed him. And this game might be put to bed. I don't think I will retire myself yet, but this game looks done and dusted.
Mexico with plenty forward. Free kick swung in, taking a touch right, put it body in. And Mexico are back in it.
Quiñones, goal. Oh, Mexico, just at the wrong time. England just couldn't keep him out till half-time. And this will change the whole complexion of the game now. All the big guns are out, yep. Got the Tanfastics, the Star Mix, and the Wine Gums. And it's safe to say now, it's go hard or go home. Penalty England, in a flash, Gordon slides in, penalty. Here we go again.
You've got to put this away, right-footed, he has! He sent the keeper the right way, but he's blasted it past him with pace.
Harry Kane to creep up the Golden Boot rankings, and more housery from keepers. It is a bit pathetic, I think. But here we go. Come off the hour, come off the man.
Jimenez with a curvy run. He's going to run up and hit it right-footed. The crowd will tell you he scored.
Jimenez stepping up for his second goal for Mexico. He's running up now. Not stutter. And goal. There's going to be 11 minutes for 11 Lions, the 11th hour. Can they hold out? It's been an historic performance by England. And that's it. England are at the top of the mountain. They've been through the thunder and rain. And our mountain lions can now plot a course downward through the rest of the tournament and bring the trophy home. Bellingham is shooting for man of the match. Just stopped a certain goal. The Alamo springs to mind. I know it's just down the road, but that's how it feels right now. England holding down the fort.
There we are.
Very funny.
Poetic stuff. Powered by Haribo and Maynard's, by the sound of it.
In a flash, Gordon.
They're beautifully done. So, Creatures of the Night normally watch a game, so you don't have to, but we all did. But that was it through Tom's eyes. Thank you very much, Tom. Now, Jill was cabin crew, she was telling us the other day, so she's used to sort of weird hours and stuff. So she sent a Creatures of the Night to our producer Sean today. He said, "I hope you don't mind, Sean, but I just had to do one. You know, it was the way the game would work for me." So we can't play it all, but she did get quite emotional. Let's just give you an excerpt of Jill in action, shall we?
Oh my God, we've done it! I'm crying. 10 men, 3-2. England defended like gladiators. Pickford was immense. Jude, hey Jude, thank you. I've lost my voice. I've drank so much coffee. It's 4:05. I'm crying. And we've got through. That was one of the best games I've ever seen England play. Bring on Haaland. Bring on Norway. Let's go and get some Miami sunshine. I'm off to get more coffee. Bye.
At which point the bloke in business said, "Yeah, that's all very well, but can I have my gin and tonic?"
It's true. It's a very prevalent attitude, this, honestly. The one thing Norway will get, you know, if you start doing this, is they'll be pinning it up on the dress.
Well, it's the ultimate Schadenfreude,
Don't start
isn't
going, coming home and all that. Forget all that.
Lord Beaverbrook, Lord Nelson, Maggie Thatcher, can you hear me? That's what it came from. It came from us thinking we just turn up and turn them over.
That's it.
That's the whole, that's the
worst thing you could ever do. And I'm sure England themselves won't do that because they'll know this is, Norway have got to the quarterfinals. They haven't done it by accident.
No, they beat Brazil, for goodness sake.
And apart from the game where they made 11 changes, they've been pretty good the whole tournament.
Anyway, keep them coming. TalkSport.com, text 81089, tweet to TSH&J 03717223344. We've got Chris, the Arsenal fan, haven't we? Is Chris with us? Yeah, Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hello, boys. How you doing?
Not bad. How are you saying? You sound quite chipper. How did you watch it all unfold, Chris? What did you do? Pub or at home?
At home. I stayed up, watched the Brazil game. I saw it was going to be delayed, so I had a little nap, and then I'm in the doghouse with the missus because I woke the 8-year-old up because he wanted to watch it and she said no, but I did. Brought him down, watched it. I thought, I can't miss out on that with him, and I loved it. I never got those memories when I was younger, so it was brilliant. Just the game was amazing. His face, just watching him. It's brilliant. Knackered now at work. He's gone to school a bit tired. Told him not to tell the teacher, but he probably will.
I'm 100% with you because you've given him an experience he'll never forget that, and it's such a bond between the two of you. I think it's wonderful,
Oh, God, yeah. It was, the game was brilliant, but that was that was just up there alongside it as well. Just watching his little face, he talking tactics with me and how bad Pickford was. And then by the end of it, we were Pickford lovers.
Yeah. It's interesting. We're talking about Haaland and how effective he is. And that battle with Gabriel last night, both players know each other really well. They play against each other. But you see the brilliance of Haaland in that moment where he just steals half a yard, and you could see Gabriel's face. He only takes him. That's the brilliance of the guy, isn't it? You can be up against one of the best defenders in the Premier League and still find a way.
He can, but I stupidly enough, I think we'll have an easier game against them than we would at the Mexico game.
Oh?
That is
That's
stupid.
my feeling.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That is wrong.
That's how I think. It might be wrong, but that's how I think.
Look, it might be that way.
You can
but...
phone us back on Monday, Chris.
Well,
and
look,
if we batter them 4-0, you can.
Yeah. It's unlikely. It's going to be a tight old game and dramatic, I'm sure.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you, Chris. Good man. That's Chris, the Arsenal fan, who let his lads stay up and has got that memory of it. There'll be a lot of the teachers dealing with all these tired kids today may see it differently, although they may have been up themselves.
Of course, player for player, we should beat Norway. Of course we should. But,
Tom and Stephen, he says, none of you have stayed up to watch WrestleMania, and it shows. Because obviously,
why would you? It's not actually sport, mate.
Look, he's in a bad mood as it is. He's a bit tired.
Rubbish.
Don't start him on wrestling.
It's like saying you didn't stay up to watch some overnight movie.
I think Tom was saying there he's been to Nam. That's what I think he's claiming because he stayed up to watch some sports entertainment. So keep them coming. talksport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH and J. Benny says, I watched the game, then went to work. I'm a pilot. I'm currently flying some holiday makers to Alicante. I think that's not strictly true.
That's not true.
Tell us when and where. 0371722 3344, talksport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH and J. Sean Martin from BetMGM joins us with all the odds. Tim Vickery with all the fallout from Brazil. Paraguay.
I'm sure they're taking it well.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. I'm sure they're quite stoic about it all.
Yeah.
And, of course, Colombia's still in the mix playing against Switzerland tomorrow. We'll catch up with Tim in the next half hour.
He shouldn't get beat near post, mate. He should not get beat near post. I'm not having it.
That football saying has been knocking around since I was a kid. Right? In that situation, there's no defender in front of him. He's had a touch. He's got his head up. He's got the goal to aim at. He can go that way. He can go this way. Pickford knows that. Stop saying he shouldn't get beat.
No, but, all right, okay, right.
Are you saying it's a crime?
No, he shouldn't get beat. He shouldn't get beat.
Why not? Why not?
Right, stand there. Right, we've got two posts here. Right, that's a goal. Right, please, for me.
What's the goal?
Well, there's the goal. You got a post there and you got a post there. All right, talkSPORT's the goal. All right.
So that's their post.
Yeah, you got.
That's their post.
Yeah, right. You got your Seaman shirt on. Right.
Okay.
Right. I'm the Congo player.
I'm set.
Well, no, you're not set because you're in the middle of the goal. You got to stay. You're standing there.
Hold on. That's the post.
That's the near post.
I'm happy.
No, you're not happy.
I'm happy.
No, you're not happy.
What's that?
What do you mean? That's the back post. Don't worry about that. You don't need the mic. All right. People can hear you.
Where are you?
I'm here. I'm the Congo player. I've got the ball.
Get back a bit.
Right. I'm here.
Yeah.
You're standing in the middle of the goal for one. You're in the wrong place.
I'm happy.
No, you're not happy.
I'm happy.
You're not happy.
I'm happy.
Okay, well, I'll score near post.
Okay, but you can score there as well.
No, but that's not where you stand. You stand there.
Okay, I stand here.
No, you don't stand outside the post, do you? You stand next to the near post.
Right,
okay. I shouldn't score there.
Okay.
I should not score there.
Where's he going to score?
If he scores there,
yeah,
in the top corner.
No, forget top corner. Where's some top corner?
If there's one thing Brazil loves more than samba and sunshine, it's football, or as they call it, futebol. And trust me, this love story goes way back. It all started in 1884 when a young Brazilian named Charles Miller returned from England, aged 21, carrying a pair of footballs and a Hampshire FA rulebook. He was basically the original influencer, bringing back trends from abroad. And just like that one mate who insists you have to try their new obsession, Miller convinced everyone to give this little English sport a go. Spoiler alert, it caught on. The entire nation fell head over boots for the game. And fast forward a few decades, it was time for Brazil to start playing in the World Cup. Then came 1958, the year a 17-year-old kid named Pelé showed up and Brazil won its first World Cup. From there, Brazil kept adding stars to the jersey, 5 to be exact, the only country with that many titles and the only country to participate in every World Cup. Jogo Bonito, the beautiful game, became Brazil's signature. It's part of the national identity. Think dazzling footwork, joyful play, and the occasional move that makes you wonder if gravity just took the day off. So next time you see that iconic yellow jersey, remember, it all started with one guy, 2 footballs, and a nation ready to fall in love.
Before we chat with Alex from BetMGM, let's have a quick check-in. First check-in today as they're underway at Wimbledon with Lisa O'Sullivan. Hi, Lisa.
Hiya, yeah, we've got some great tennis in store for us. First up on centre court, the chubby cheeks and ruffled socks may be a thing of the past, but Alex Ayala of the Philippines will be looking to continue inspiring a nation as she gets underway against Jasmine Paolini in the quarter-finals here. We've got Grigor Dimitrov looking to be the first wild card since Goran Ivanisevic to go all the way to the title, but he's going to have to get past Britain's Arthur Ferry to book his place in the next round. It's going to be a cracking day. Temperatures up here on centre court. It's going to be another sensational grass event at the All England Club.
Thanks very much, Lisa. Then time to have a look at all the latest odds with BetMGM. As we said, Alex Licence joins us. Hi, Alex. Hello, Alex.
Are you
Morning.
there?
How are we doing?
We're good. We're good. So let's look back on last night. Excuse me. Sorry, a bit of a. I wonder why I got a frog in the throat. I've been awake half the night. So yeah, from a punting point of view, I mean, I would imagine in running, it was a bit topsy-turvy, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. We did see, as you would imagine, quite a bit of movement on Mexico in play, especially after that red card. They went out there about 2 or 3 to 1 in running, so we saw a bit of movement. And well, I'm glad to say that those bets have lost. I spoke to one of the traders this morning. I just asked for like a little bit of an overview on how last night went from a betting perspective. I got one word back, and that was bloodbath, which
wow,
says everything you need to know. Obviously, all the main selections landed, but I think if there's a time to be happy about the punters winning, it's definitely an England win.
How big a favourites are England for the Norway game? What's the current odds on that match?
England just below even money. In 90 minutes at 10 to 11, Norway out there at 11 to 4. But if you're looking at to qualify markets, England quite a bit short at 12 to 25, and then Norway at 8 to 5. So yeah, we've got England as slight favourites going to that. I think rightly so, don't you?
And outright, have England come in a bit after that performance last night?
They have, yeah. England in 3 points, so into third favourites now is Spain. We were 9 to 1 before last night. We're now 6 to 1. Obviously with a slightly easier, I won't say easier looking quarterfinal, but a preferred quarter-final maybe. So, yeah, 6-1, and then you've got France. They're still currently favourites at 33-20, and Argentina splitting England and France at 9-2.
Yeah, sorry, Andy.
No, I was going to say, if you're from Norway, though, you're really looking for any of this, any being favourites coming home. Or they're not going to need a lot of incentive to be right up for it.
I imagine Haaland to score in that game is quite short odds, and whether England win or not.
Yeah, he will be, yeah. I'll just pull the markets up now for you, but I would imagine he'll be, well, after his record, he won't be too far away from Harry Kane. And no. Kane's usually around even money, just short of evens in games. So there's also a bit of a golden boot battle between them two, isn't there? You've got Kane's on 6 and Haaland's on 7. But yeah, Kane's 10-11 to score in that game, and Haaland just above even money at 6-4 anytime.
So you mentioned Spain among the favourites. They take on Portugal tonight. So how's that looking? I take it obviously Spain will be favourites to win this game.
Spain are favourites. Yeah, it's an interesting tie tonight. Spain, they've looked really solid, haven't they? They've not conceded a goal this tournament, as we know. And I've not really been overly impressed with Portugal. I think they were lucky against Colombia and lucky against Croatia. But looking at sort of the head-to-head, 6 of the last 7 meetings between Spain and Portugal have ended in a draw. The last time they met at a World Cup was the 3-3 in Russia with Ronaldo getting a hat-trick. So if you do fancy 7th draw in 8, that's 12-5 in 90 minutes. Spain are odds on favourites, as I said, they're 17-20, and then Portugal 14-5.
And now Andy's been saying, "Come on, Belgium." I think he's got nothing against the USA, but what's gone on with Balogun has left a nasty taste in the mouth of a lot of people. But so, I mean, who are the favourites? Are USA marginal favourites as the home team?
No, they're not actually. It's the other way around. So Belgium are. There's not much splitting them, to be honest. Yeah, Belgium. Well, we've got Belgium ever so slightly favourites in 90 minutes at 6-4. The draws at 9-4, and then USA 31-20, or the qualifying markets, Belgium 17-20, or USA 10-11. Yeah, so not much splitting them, but firstly, there's about 0.01% chance that I'm going to be awake for that game tonight. But
yeah,
I'm very much in agreement with you. Like you said earlier, Andy, I want to see Belgium win after that whole debacle around Balogun. It's a bit of a shambles.
I am surprised they're favourites because they have been really unimpressive.
Yeah, they have. And, with their tails up, especially with Balogun playing, he makes such a difference to them that I can see America... can see USA winning this, but we shall see. Nice one, Alex. Thank you. As always, we'll catch up with you soon.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Alex Licence there from BetMGM. Visit betmgm.co.uk. You can download the app. 18+, begambleaware.org.
It's showtime on talkSPORT with BetMGM. Keep things golden with responsible play at betmgm.co.uk. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Creaky from Sedgefield says, went to bed after the Brazil game. Wife said didn't want to stop up to watch England, so we went to bed. Woke up this morning 7 a.m. for work to find out she'd watched it without me. Creaky, that's bad.
That's bad.
Off to the divorce courts today.
Oh, no.
Gareth says, I fell asleep in the first half, now sat in bed working from home. Oh, yeah, working from home. Chinny Recon.
Oh, for goodness.
Having watched it while ignoring emails. So at least you've been ignoring emails. My 2 dogs have taken the brunt today, says Mark in Addleston. Alarm set for 12:45. Got up. The dogs thought they were off for a walk. TV on, saw the delayed kickoff, and then TV off again. 45 minutes extra sleep. Alarm off again. TV on 1:45. Dogs thought they were off for a walk again. Trying to keep them from barking the house down. They're both Sparko now, he says. Worth it for such a great performance. So thank you for all of those. Tim Vickery's going to join us next. We're going to talk Brazil, and they're crashing out the tournament last night to Norway. A bit of Paraguay and all the fallout from that performance. And indeed, Colombia still in the mix.
Argentina as well.
Argentina, yeah, very lucky. Took them far too lightly and nearly paid the price. Tim Vickery, our South American correspondent, up next. We're here with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com.
one on Portugal against Croatia. Portugal won 2-1 in the end. Ronaldo, of course, getting his first knockout goal with a penalty straight down the middle. What did you make of the controversial VAR decision?
Well, I think hair's very overrated, don't you, Gab? Very overrated.
I don't think you need it, mate.
No, exactly, yeah.
Oh, yeah, both of you.
Who would have talked, don't mess with the ball?
So I've got the Mitchell brothers in here.
Well, don't you think, in the, the marginal gains, that in future managers say to all the defenders, whatever, by the way, get your head shaved.
That's a very good point.
It's nonsensical. Honestly, it is so ridiculous that we're talking about a hair follicle and you're talking about snicko, right? VAR wasn't brought in for that. And then I don't know, you've probably seen it. When you're looking at it, right?
Hard to tell.
The ball doesn't change flight. The spin of the ball doesn't change whatsoever.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I agree with everything you've said. I agree with you. But here's my question: was it offside?
What, according to Snicko?
Well, according to the laws of football, was it offside?
Not really.
No, because we're not 100% sure that it's actually touched. You know what we're going to do now is right.
I know, but it was offside, right? I agree with you, Perry. You won't get an argument from me.
Good. Was it offside?
But because it's touched him.
How do you know it's touched it?
Because the microchip in the ball has told us that.
Yeah, right. So that's how mad that this is that we're talking about. Everybody thinks you're talking about cricket, number one.
Yeah.
Right, with the Snicko, right?
Yeah.
That's not. Football was about emotions and losing your mind and celebrations and exalted moments with your friends, your family, aunties, and on the pitch as well. VAR was brought in for Thierry Henry's handball for France against Ireland. That is it. So now they've made themselves so important that we're going to, the minutiae, we're going to go into CSI sort of,
Yeah, I don't like it.
PGMO.
I know, but if we score the winning goal in the World Cup final.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Suddenly curves his run up. Neymar staggers forward. It's a stutter again. It's right-footed and he rolls it in. And Brazil have a very late goal right at the end of the game. That is it! Haaland made history for Norway. A first ever World Cup quarter-final beckons. Brazil are out and the Norwegian golden generation are delivering on their promise. Brazil 1, Norway 2.
Yes, Neymar announced his retirement in the wake of that defeat. Carlo Ancelotti says he would like to stay on. What's the mood in Rio? Let's cross there now. Tim Vickery joins us. Hi, Tim.
And they're known to be very sporting.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've taken it very well.
They'll be quite sanguine about the whole thing, I guess.
Yeah, you've said it all now. There's no need to have me on the programme, is it? Can I go and get a coffee?
Go on.
So what is the mood, Tim?
Well, it's still early doors. It's not yet 8 o'clock, so I haven't been out and taken the temperature of the streets yet. But I fear that this Monday morning is going to be the most Monday morning of all possible Monday mornings. And there's always a carpet of gloom, and it always feels like a death in the family when Brazil get knocked out. But to get knocked out before reaching the quarterfinals by Norway, blimey, it just gets worse and worse and worse. They've gone out to a European team in the knockout stages every time since they won in 2002. And these nations they're losing to keep getting kind of, in footballing terms, smaller and less traditional. 8 years ago, I thought they were unlucky against Belgium. 4 years ago, they were very unlucky against Croatia. Weren't unlucky last night. Weren't unlucky. So it's just getting worse and worse and worse. This is a cataclysmic, absolute disaster in football terms. They've got their coach on a long-term contract, on a very, very fat long-term contract. What do they do with him now?
Do you think the sense will be that the Brazilian public won't want him there because of what's happened?
Well, there is that. But as I say, he's got himself protected. He's on a long-term contract. If he was a Brazilian coach, he'd be out. He'd be out. But because they had to pay to get him, and he's come in with his prestige, and up until the game yesterday, he was very, very popular with many. But it's a results-based business, especially in Brazil. You wonder if he's the right man for this now, because what he always was, I think, was because there are. You could get like an ideas man, a big ideas man for a root and branch overhaul, which I think is what Brazil probably need. There wasn't really time for that in the time that he had in the year before the World Cup. So he comes along with his Band-Aid, and is astute. I think you have to pin what happened yesterday specifically on him. I think this is his defeat. We can get into that in a minute. But so he just puts his Band-Aid here and there, and he raises his eyebrow, and he makes a tweak, and it's a quick fix. But instead of a Band-Aid, I think they need a surgeon now. Yeah. And whether he's the man to do it, and it could be what he wants to do now. Last big task of his working life. It could be what he wants to do. He has been very happy in the job, but he now is going to come under pressure, the like of which I don't think even he has ever seen at Real Madrid or AC Milan.
Brazil had not missed a penalty at a World Cup until last night for 40 years.
Right, it was a terrible penalty.
And it's interesting.
Stutterer.
Vinny Jr. saying, well, that the manager wanted Bruno to take it. Yeah. He's laid the blame there. I'll take it that's going to be a big talking point, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And when I say it's on him, you can attack him for the strategy of the game. And imagine... Brazil aren't producing midfielders. So this is a problem. But imagine a Brazil side having about half the number of passes as Norway, letting Norway have the ball. Imagine that. But anyway, that was his strategy, and it could have worked. Because Brazil then just go on the break, and they had their chances. But I think there's two things that are on him. One is the choice of penalty taker, which is his. It's the coaching staff. They've gone with Bruno. Bruno's hardly taken a penalty in his life. It's a moment for your senior, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
All right, and they're saying he was very good in training, but I think it's a different thing. And from the moment that he starts stuttering, you're thinking there's no confidence in his penalty. I'm not sure about this penalty at all. So it should have been Vinny. Vinny has missed them from Brazil, but at least if Vinny misses it, you've got your star man who's done it and not a left field choice.
Yeah.
So the choice of penalty taker is on Ancelotti. But the big one, the moment when they lose the game is, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I really, really couldn't believe what I was seeing when Neymar came on. That's where he lost. That's where he lost the game because it meant a rejig of his formation. Because Neymar he just can't move. So he's not going to come back. So he has to play at centre forward, which means that both Vinny Jr. and Endrick have to go wider and further from goal, which is exactly where you don't want them. And it opens out the team. And for the first time after that, and Haaland, up until that point, Haaland had survived on scraps, isn't he? The long ball up to him, and he fights off everyone, and the second ball is there for Odegaard, whoever is following up. From the point that he brought Neymar on, Norway were able to get up the field and get service to Haaland, and he doesn't need very much, does he? Doesn't need very much. So that was I just couldn't believe what was happening. I do understand why he took Neymar. In the insignificance, in my opinion, I wouldn't have done it myself. But you're dealing with a sporting culture which is almost unique, where everyone's supporting, everyone is fanatical supporters. And a lot of them don't watch a lot of football outside Brazil, and they were booing Alisson in a warm-up game. They're booing Alisson for crying out loud. What kind of crowd boos Alisson? So you're dealing with emotional pressures you don't get elsewhere. And had he not taken Neymar, it would just have been a stick for everyone to beat the team with. As soon as it's 10 minutes gone and it's 0-0, Neymar. So he's brought him. he gave him a run against Scotland, and frankly, he looked like a long retired player having a walkout for a charity game. So I'm thinking, well, he's not going to do that again, is he? That he's given him a run, and to bring him on a decisive game, and the whole thing didn't deserve to work with Neymar, because he'd said all along, Neymar will only go to the World Cup if he deserves to go to the World Cup based on performances, and I'm not going to take any injured players. And he broke both of those for Neymar. So it kind of didn't deserve to work. But I was thinking, yeah, he's probably dealing with this quite well. You know, bring him so he's inside the tent, but don't use him when it matters. And he used him when it matters, and it lost him the game.
We will ask you very quickly about Paraguay as well. I think the reaction, I'm guessing, in South America has been very different to what it has been here, which was a fairly ugly pub team. There was no sign of that in the Germany game, where they just were heroically defending. Whereas in this game, because the referee let them get away with it, they pushed the envelope to an extent. It was pretty unedifying watch from our point of view. But what are they saying there?
Yeah, in their defence, number one, they're just hopelessly outgunned, and France are much better than Germany. And also, it's some of the hottest conditions in which high-class football has ever been played. No, I mean, this is fairly mild, frankly. I see much worse than this every week. I really do. This was a Libertadores game. I did actually think it was quite funny the way that they adjusted the dark arts for a VAR age, because it's just enough, you know, a little elbow in the side. If it's an elbow in the face, VAR is can pick that up and send you off. But in the no, it's not enough, you know. So I thought that was a way to adapt the dark arts for the technological age. I thought they did that one quite well. And there was no threat of violence. There was no. I mean, for example, tackles yesterday by the England right back, which was naive and silly. Or Neymar should have been sent off. You know, it was just a wild swipe. There was nothing like that. It was annoying. And this seems to get you lot more than anything else, more than out and out violence. You hate the annoying stuff, but it was the right result. France didn't rise to the bait too much. Yeah. The right team won. Paraguay go home. I don't quite understand why this is such a big fuss.
I was about to. I've written good riddance to Panama. What an appalling South American effort, aided by a buffoon of a ref.
Yeah.
I know they're not exactly South American.
The thing is, Tim, I was about to accuse you of losing the Corinthian spirit, but I imagine Corinthians do it every week, don't they?
Very good, very good. Yeah, if you want to accuse me of going native, you know, then fire away.
Yeah. We got about 30 seconds on Colombia. You're feeling confident ahead of the game against Switzerland?
I am. The worry is they don't score enough goals. It's time for Luis Diaz to come to the party. If he can, I think Colombia can do this one. And I need it. Otherwise, if Argentina lose as well, all the South American sides are out. I have to go into hibernation for 4 years.
Well, you can be an England fan now, Tim. You can go for, but the family will be in mourning. The dog will be in mourning, and all your mates will be in mourning. So enjoy your day. Enjoy the Schadenfreude, and we'll catch up with you soon. Take care.
Look forward to it. Cheers.
It's Tim Vickery there over in Rio with it's going to be a pretty dark day in Brazil.
I can't imagine Argentina playing as badly as that again.
No,
as complacent as that.
No, they won't be. I mean, they went out there with a wrong attitude, which is not like them, because had they gone out with the right attitude, they could have been 3-0 up at half time, but they were far too casual, far too playing within themselves, thinking we just got to turn up, and that can bite you on the bum, can't it? Anyway, Spain take on Portugal tonight. And Terry Gibson, Spanish football expert, former Spurs, Manchester United, Covent Don's frontman, will be joining us to look at that. Brian Sciaretta is a man we've often turned to on sport in football in the States a lot, and it'd be interesting to get his take on what's gone on with Balogun, and he'll be playing, of course, in the game, which will bring you on talkSPORT overnight. So that's all coming up in the final hour, plus the weather report. How hot's it going to be in Miami for England's game on Saturday afternoon?
The answer.
We'll find out from Fox Weather in New York, Stephen Morgan, in the next hour.
Wayne Rooney has just said that Thomas Tuchel should have brought Kyle Walker to this World Cup. That experience and the ability to play a right back rather than have to take Declan Rice out of midfield could have been useful.
I think a Kyle Walker and his pomp would drastically improve this team. I really do.
100%.
Stuart Pearce there and Adrian talking about Wayne Rooney's comments. Kyle Walker's in the studio with us. Perfectly timed. What do you make of Wayne Rooney's comments there?
No, I think for Wayne to say that, it's flattering. I think a legend like that to say that about you, it obviously gives you a little bit of a pat on the back. But I still go back to the Trent scenario that, Trent is still out there and available, and I think maybe he should have got the nod.
The comments itself, you've retired from international football. You did. I didn't know this, but you told us in the gallery back in April.
I think it was around about April, March.
You regret that a little bit?
No, I think I do regret it looking in hindsight now that there's a potential place for me in this World Cup.
Did you feel that place had gone now? That just wasn't going to happen again, that your England career had come to an end? Is that...
I look at it now and I think that obviously with Reece and Tino's recent injuries, maybe I could have got the shout. But when I had the conversation eventually with them at England, that was not an opportunity that I was going to get. Obviously not playing the couple of friendlies that they had prior to the tournament. I knew that from that...
We do headlines. Just coming up to 3 minutes past 12. I'm Nick Ellaby. Good afternoon. talkSPORT's Henry Winter called it the very greatest England performance in his 35 years of covering them. Here's our man of the match, Jordan Pickford.
Unreal. You won't get much better than that. We were, the manager talked about us pounding the rock, knocking the rock down and they'll crack. We were the rock tonight and we didn't crack.
During England's backs-to-the-wall 10-man 3-2 win over Mexico, Harry Kane was surprisingly calm before his decisive penalty.
I think there was so much time in the game and I knew how important that goal was to give us a bit more of a lead. But went through my usual routine. I knew with the altitude, the ball moves quick out here, so going for a bit more power would be difficult for the keeper, but I executed it well and I did that.
So have England finally laid the ghost of Maradona to rest with that win in the Azteca? Not yet, says Jude Bellingham.
The focus has to be on the next game now. We've done something incredible tonight, no doubt about it, and we'll enjoy it and we'll sing songs until we lose our voices on the plane and whatnot, but we'll have a couple of days recovery and then it's straight back to business in terms of facing Norway.
Jordan Henderson, though, not on that plane. He'll stay behind in Mexico with what looks like a serious wrist injury he sustained in a fall during the celebrations. Now, UEFA are calling Folarin Balogun's overturned suspension unprecedented, incomprehensible and unjustifiable. Belgium will appeal the decision, allowing the USA striker to play in their quarter-final despite his previous red card. All that follows interference from the White House. Meanwhile, Neymar's called time on his Brazil career. That's after their defeat to Norway. Carlos Queiroz has stepped down as head coach of Ghana. That follows their World Cup exit. Sandro Tonali is now officially a Spurs player for a club record 100 million. And Forest owner Evangelos Marinakis says he and his fifth manager in 12 months, Oliver Glasner, shares his ambition to win major honours. More on all this at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Prince Harry's team says the King's offer to stay at Buckingham Palace was withdrawn at the last moment, and it's emerged RAF jets have intercepted a Russian spy plane. More with Toby at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. This summer, treat yourself to Bridgestone Turanza All-Season 6 tyres with a 25,000 mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Rain across northern and northwestern Scotland. Dry for most of us with sunny spells. Breezy, very warm in the south.
Football forecast on talkSPORT with QuickFit, a team selection that everyone would be happy with this summer. QuickFit, drive away happy every time.
Yes, time once again to look at the latest weather over in the States. All thanks to QuickFit. Both this evening's games are in the USA. Once again, Stephen Morgan from Fox Weather in New York joins us. Hi, Stephen.
Hey, good morning, Paul and Andy. Congrats. I want to talk to you guys about that England game, but I guess we can get to today's games. Those are important for us.
Well, we want to reflect slightly on that because you did tell us last week, Stephen, we were going to have some weather. I mean, the conditions were great. It was, even to the point where the co-commentator on TV last night, Alan Shearer, had a jacket on. It was cold enough. But you did tell us there a threat of storms, and we did get an hour delay, of course.
You know, and they always say that the most confident forecast is about 72 hours out. But I think I surprised myself, because there have been 80 matches played. Only 3 matches so far in the World Cup have been affected by the rain. And yesterday's game was affected. Actually, Mexico City was the other place, and then Philadelphia back during the group stage. We had a long delay there. So, yeah, we'll have to watch. I think the Miami game, England and Norway on Saturday, it looks right now to be dry, but there is a chance we might have a stray shower. Give us a little more time. We'll be able to deal with it. The problem is going to be the heat. This could be one of the warmest games that England has. Temperature is going to fluctuate between 31 to 32 degrees Celsius. So we're talking upper 80s, maybe low 90s in Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Two European
Two northern
sides.
European
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true. So hopefully that'll level itself out a bit. We're in Dallas for the first game today, Portugal, Spain. What's it going to be like there?
Actually, a little warmer than the game that we're expecting in Miami on Saturday. So we could have temperatures in the low to mid 90s. So we're talking, got the forecast behind us. It's dry, and as we know, the stadium in Dallas is indoors, but outside it's going to be 33, 34 degrees Celsius. Nothing too terrible. It has been a lot hotter this summer, so we're kicking off the games this week. Slightly cooler than what they were last week, but still, it's summer.
And the USA game against Belgium, that's in Seattle. So what are we looking at there?
A big game tonight. Yeah, the start time is going to be 5 p.m. That's local time. It's Pacific time for us here in the States. Temperatures are going to be, for Seattle standards, a little warmer, mild in the low 80s, so 27, 28 degrees. The one question is always, will there be some rain? Seattle has this reputation in the U.S. to bring some rain, so having the sun icons behind me, sunny skies tonight, a really good forecast. So not going to have any problems with the weather tonight. I can say that confidently. 100%.
That's good. That's good news.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be watching the game?
Yeah, you're going to what? Will you watch the game, Stephen?
So at 8 p.m. Eastern time, my bedtime's about 9 p.m. So we have about an hour before I got to get. I mean, I'm going to try to stay up, but at this point, I have a hard time. Did you guys stay up?
Oh yeah, we did. We did stay up. I think you had to do it. I think you had to do it like that, really. One of our listeners has just got in touch and said, have people forgotten that in this futuristic age, it's very easy to record things on TV? I recorded the game and watched it at 6 a.m. before work. And before looking at my phone, perfect.
Not really. It's better live, mate.
I think you've got to live the experience.
Of course
you know,
do.
you've got to get up with everybody else and have an hour's delay and be tired.
Never the same.
That's it. Well, look, Stephen, good to talk to you as always. Thank you very much.
Okay, you got it. Thanks, guys.
Stephen Morgan there. Thanks to him from Fox Weather in New York. That was our weather update. Thanks to QuickFit. Drive away happy every time.
US football forecast on talkSPORT with QuickFit. Your car's star player you can always rely on this summer. QuickFit. Drive away happy every time.
Dean in Bristol touches on something that did kind of come into my mind as he started to make changes. Dean says, I'm in awe of Tuchel's decision to take Harry Kane off. He was very tired, but a lot of managers would have left him on in case it went to penalties.
Yeah.
Because as we took a lot of key players off in the game, for understandable reasons, because we wanted.
If they'd equalised, we'd have been absolutely sunk.
I mean, my two.
It was risky, but it worked, so you can't say anything.
No, exactly. That's the way to look at it. But thank you, Dean. A good point. I'm a retained firefighter, says Ryan, which means I respond to a pager from work home. Guess who got a shout during the second half? Oh no. Okay, Ryan. Well, I hope everybody was okay. Woke up 7 a.m. yesterday, went to work, no nap, went to pub at 11:30, got in at 4:30 a.m, brackets no booze, back up at 8 this morning. I'm a delivery driver for the world's biggest online shop. They decided to treat me with only 194 stops today.
Sorry.
He said it's going to be a long day, but well worth it, says Steph in Stoke. So everybody's doing it their own way.
Here's a brilliant letter to the Star.
Oh, yeah?
About Harry Kane. Oh, give Harry Kane a knighthood because he scored 2 goals against Congo.
Right.
Don't be bloody ridiculous. I'm
ridiculous?
That's how it's written.
Was that from Jethro?
It's from Lawrence. He says, I worked 40 years on shift, very few days off except being knocked down by a hit-and-run driver. Thanks. It's not Harry Kane's fault, is it, mate?
I'm maintaining it's a good omen that Harry Kane spoke the way he did after the game, as I immediately said to Andy on our little group. I'm claiming that he was channeling the late great boy of '66, Alan Ball.
He did sound like
He sounded like Bally, didn't he?
He did.
When he was chatting there. The voice had gone. There's a bit of gravel in it. So Paul the Octopus has just posted on X, lads, it's Norway. That's not a good sign.
No, don't do that.
Paul the Octopus has done that, Andy.
No. Then this story was great. It was a couple of days ago, but it's brilliant. The headline, Jude has his eyes on the Bond role.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham says he'd love to be James Bond and could ditching. No, he's not going to.
Not.
That's not happening.
You'll have a crackpot story. Do you want another crackpot story,
give us
Andy?
a crackpot story then.
This comes from the good people at where's it gone? Which supermarket was it? Oh yeah, it was Asda. In their Cheltenham branch, they made something called a chili con cane. A 16-inch chili con cane, which was basically
better written down.
A chili con carne with Harry Kane's face in it. It's a beautiful thing. I didn't see that from there. You probably can't. Go and check it out if you want to see the chili con cane. I was in Cyprus for the game with my missus, 2-year-old daughter. Sent them to bed at 2 and stayed out till 7. Feeling it today, says Russ. I suppose a lot of people are on holiday at the moment.
Yeah,
they've just kind of watched it from that point. I watched it in my local, but I went a bit early on the drinking. I am, however, still going. He's decided to keep going. Haven't been able to calm down yet, says Daniel. So thanks for giving us all that. Now, what about the fans who were over there? Our own Angelina Kelly was outside the Azteca after the game, and she caught up with some very emotional England fans.
Talk to me about Wonderwall playing, all the players running over.
Look, obviously, I grew up, I knew Wonderwall before I could speak. And to look down at them players who I'm so proud of, and to sing that song back to them is like one of the greatest moments of my life. Yeah. And I mean that. Yeah. I love you.
No, but you're emotional talking about that.
Oh, no, I just, because it resonates with me with so many people. Like my best
You're all right, you're all right.
Family, my best friend, and to just be there in that moment, it means everything. It means everything.
Just goosebumps, yeah, it was
hairs
incredible.
The back of your neck goes up, and
We were on the Mexican side. Yeah. The last 5 minutes, we ran over to the British side. Thank God we did.
The crowd,
it was good.
He didn't have a lot of hair, the bloke.
No, the bloke who said the hair's on the back of my... I think most of the hair he's got is on the back of his neck.
And that guy said, I knew Wonderwall before I could speak. How does that work?
Our producer was chatting to Stephen Morgan from Fox Weather earlier on.
Yeah.
And he used a phrase that I think Stephen's probably not familiar with. He said, the boys might ask you about the weather in Miami on Saturday, but I know it's a bit early doors. I mean, maybe you're going to hit him with a sort of Cockney phrase start calling him geese. see what you can land on him and see what he understands.
It's good, isn't it? And finally, my final letter to the Star from today. This is about Declan Rice. It's brilliant, isn't it, these people? Selfish enough to stop a player playing for the Republic of Ireland, then selfish enough to change tack and take an England player's place, then selfish enough to go to the World Cup carrying an injury, taking a fully fit player's place. Unreal. Isn't it amazing people could look at it like that? What does he think now? He was absolutely brilliant. That run, I bet he was the first person cheering the guy.
Pete's been in touch. My preparation for the Mexico game. Up at 4 a.m. for fishing, home for 11 for a big fry-up. Went for a 6-mile walk in the afternoon.
That's good.
Cooked a curry. Ate the curry. Then dozed in the garden till 12 a.m. Realised the game had been delayed, so I had another hour on the sofa. Missed the first 20 minutes. Well, hang on, that's not great, is it, as a blueprint? Then watched it all. Up since 2:20 a.m. at McDonald's for 5 a.m., then started work at 6 a.m. I'll be a mess by 4 p.m., but it was totally worth it. Pete in Utoxeter, you've been telling us about your experiences. Oh, yeah, this was a corker. Richard in Sheffield. I got on the sofa at 9 p.m, set my alarm for 1 a.m, woke up, saw it was starting at 2 a.m, so ate a leftover Donna meat calzone. The Donna meat I mean, imagine I can't think of anything worse from your point of view.
Not really, correct.
And a leftover one, so the fat would have congealed within it. I hope you warmed it up.
Very nice, yeah.
Grabbed a beer and watched what was the best England performance I can remember whilst texting my friends in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it'll be brilliant if they beat Norway, because it could be a semi-final against Argentina, and I think that would be so perfect to beat them, to get, in the anniversary of '86 and all that.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
It's a long way to go before that for both teams, but it would be exciting.
Certainly is. Keep telling us how you watched it. 03717 722 3344. Your thoughts on the game. talksport.com. Text 81089. Tweet TS8NJ. Jim and Simon are back. They're back here, aren't they now? I asked.
Yes, they're back.
They're back in the factory. They will be in the studio for you, back from New York. Jim and Simon will be
They've
here.
moved down 33 floors.
At 1 o'clock, they're going to struggle, not being at altitude. And then World Cup Game Day live from New York with Benty and Andy and our commentary of Portugal, Spain. Coverage starts from 7. Anyway, lots more to come. We're here with our good friends at Selco Builders Warehouses, where the trade go.
Women managing in the men's game in general, do you think attitudes are shifting now?
Well, I don't have any fundamental problem with anything as long as it's meritocratic and it's seeded in meritocracy. And so the idea that we have to have a woman in the men's game, we have to have a gay footballer coming out, we have to have these things, aren't necessarily part of my thinking. I look at it and go, I look past the person, I look past the sexuality, I look past the gender, and I look at the capabilities. And so I've watched her in the women's game. She's very, very capable. Now, whether that translates into a space where the scale of the game... Now, people will say the basic principles are exactly the same, and ultimately football is football. And then they'll make the argument in the next breath that you can't compare the women's game to the men's game because the women don't like it and the men's don't like it, and they're two different games. So which argument do you want to run? When you've got scale, physicality, expectation, pressure, and all of the stuff that we know at the elite end of the game, I think it doesn't translate as clearly and concisely to make that decision. Also, I'm perplexed by why there is this desire. When Serena Wegman was doing so well, all of a sudden the lobbies come up, we should have her as England manager in the men's side. Why don't you keep her in the women's game? I thought you wanted to advance your bleeding game. I thought you wanted your game to be as best it could possibly be. Why are you seeking to take your major assets out and put them into the men's game? And what I don't like, insofar as I have any investment in this, is this constant battling between the men's game and the women's game about what the men's game's responsibility is for the women's game, because once upon a time, the women weren't able to compete in the 70s and 80s. Well, you can have the 70s and 80s back, because that was when the game was bankrupt, it was full of hooliganism, no one wanted to be involved with it. I'm not against it, as long as it's seeded in merit, and I think Emma herself spoke once upon a time about she wasn't going to manage a certain club at a certain level. I do not, with respect, see a female manager of a side like Manchester United or an elite side anytime soon, and that's not because I...
Get ready to get that winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. This summer, talkSPORT is bringing you live and official coverage of every game of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And to celebrate, we're giving away £26,000 guaranteed. Go to win.talksport.com to enter now, and you could win 26 grand in your hand, tax-free. Enter now, and you could be the next to get that winning feeling, courtesy of talkSPORT Win. Find out how to enter now at win.talksport.com.
The So Good moment of the day on talkSPORT with Meantime. talkSPORT have teamed up with Meantime to create So Good Lager for the World Cup. Available now at all O'Neill's pubs and some of the best sports bars in the UK. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Yes, time once again to take a look at our So Good moment of the day with Meantime. Of course, it's coming from England, Mexico, but it might not necessarily be the moment you think. It's not Jude Bellingham's goals. It's not the penalty. It's this.
Another corner to Mexico. 90 seconds to go to half-time. A left-footed away swinger headed down to chance, and somehow Montes has missed it. Nodded down to him, 4 yards from goal. And the reason he's missed it is because Jude Bellingham has denied him. He's coming from nowhere.
It felt like a huge moment, didn't it? Stuart Pearce went on to say in commentary there, it's as important, that moment, as either of his goals.
Absolutely. And we talked earlier, Guy Mowbray going, what a goal. I mean, that's very unusual.
I know. I mean, it was a brilliant bit of work. And had it gone in half-time at 2-2, it could have been a very different second half, couldn't it? We were all sitting there going, we just got to see this out and get in at 2-1.
And also to score, you know, when you're down to 10 men, normally it's difficult to get another goal in the game.
To get the penalty.
Yeah.
So that was today's So Good moment of the day with Meantime. talkSPORT have teamed up with Meantime to create So Good Lager for the World Cup, available now at all O'Neill's pubs and some of the best sports bars in the UK. 18 plus. Always drink responsibly.
The So Good moment of the day on talkSPORT with Meantime. talkSPORT have teamed up with Meantime to create So Good Lager for the World Cup. Available now at all O'Neill's pubs and some of the best sports bars in the UK. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Ben, the Villa fan, has given us a call on 03717 223344. Morning, Ben, or afternoon now. How are you doing?
Very tired.
What was your process then to get through it, or what did you do?
Well, I went for the power through option. The rest of the family were up in bed. They had the power nap, so I was on night watchman duty kind of thing with the responsibility of waking everyone up. And I had a little bit of a stinker, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
They have alarm clocks on their phones and all that.
What's this?
You were saying what, the family, were they due to wake up, or they just couldn't be bothered to watch?
They set alarms, but I was there as the backup alarm, I suppose, just to go up and kind of make sure the two kids and my wife were up and down, kind of thing.
So how are you feeling about the game and the next game?
Absolutely incredible. That's the best England game I've seen in many a year, kind of thing. I thought they're fantastic. And calling you from Hagley as well, the home of Jude Bellingham, and he was just immense, incredible.
Right. You're a Villa fan. He was Blues player. I bet you're glad he didn't stay there.
Across the bear, you know.
His relationship though with Morgan Rogers, as they were great mates as kids, you could see it when he kind of got hold of him and he was chatting to him, and they've got a brilliant relationship. And that was a great little cameo from him. He wasn't on for long, but he worked hard. He did his job, didn't he?
I thought he was fantastic, wasn't he, John? Yeah, I'd love to see a bit more of him, obviously. But, he's just up the road in Halesowen, so the two of them are only, a couple of miles apart sort of thing. So it's great for the area to have a Hagley boy and a Halesowen boy kind of fighting for that number 10 position.
Absolutely. Pickford was brilliant too, wasn't he?
Oh, God.
The bank-style save.
The save in the first half from the Jimenez penalty, for a Jimenez header, was fantastic. So you're feeling confident then, Ben, going into the next one?
Yeah, well, we've got to be careful, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? Because Norway have just beaten Brazil, so they're no mugs kind of thing. We know what Ireland can do, but you got to fancy it, haven't you? I think you're more. I feel like we know the Norway style a bit better. Playing against Brazil, you don't know what you're going to get really. So
we're told you missed one of the goals, Ben. Is that right? What happened? What happened?
So I paused the live TV so I could go and wake the family up. Mm-hmm. Came back down, unpaused the telly. Everyone came down. I did think it was a bit weird. They'd kicked off a little bit late. And then all of a sudden the texts start flooding in, get in, all this kind of, oh my God, I know what's happened here. I'm behind live TV kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, he's just scored. I'll use this as a moment to try and catch back up with live TV. So I'm watching it with everyone else. Fast forward, suddenly the thing flashes up 2-0 in the... And I fast-forwarded straight through the second goal as well.
Oh, no. Oh, blimey, that takes some doing. I watched on sort of ultra-high definition on the iPlayer, and it seems to be even further. It's certainly behind Sky, because I did say to you, don't give me any goal flashes. I didn't want any goal flashing. I was telling my sons that as well, because we were all chatting to each other. So this is the problem. We found this out, and people are watching in different times, aren't they? Really?
Yeah. Ultra HD.
Yeah.
What
It's great. It's brilliant. It's
Well,
great.
I've got a very good friend in Canada, and they're about 2 minutes behind watching it as well, kind of thing. So, which is weird because it's in their country pretty much. But
that is a bit.
Because that's the danger. You know, you're getting cold. I'd love it. It's there and it's in delay. Good man. Thank you very much, Ben. Ben, who missed two of the goals.
Question for you.
Oh yeah, go on then.
Well, I thought Bellingham was incredible last night. But I mean, if he does have a below par game, would you say he's subdued?
Oh, there we are. He's doing his. That sounds like one of Andy's.
Spread next week.
Well done, Ben. That'll be in next week. So we've got one more call. This is Chi, who's a Birmingham City fan. I'm sure he was delighting in Jude Bellingham as they retired the shirt. People laughed when you retired Bellingham's shirt. They're not laughing now, as they say, are they?
Definitely not, mate. Definitely not. They're celebrating, they're cheering along. I disagree with that villain guy who was just on the phone call. Birmingham raised Jude Bellingham.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And he identifies as a Brummie.
I wonder if he'll ever come back. It might be like Lionel Messi going to go back to Newell's when he's about 36.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's going back to Newell's, though, not after what they did to his fan.
No, probably not. But I wonder if Bellingham might come back for one last season when he's about 36, 37, just to sort of tap it around a bit in midfield.
Definitely, 100%. He'll come back home.
Are you again going into North? How did you watch? Tell us how you did it. How did you get through the night and watch the game?
Yeah, so I'm a street food trader, and I was trading at Compton Burney. And I promised everyone during the day, no, I'm going to do the sensible thing. I'm going to go home, get up, listen to it on replay. But I don't have a TV, so it's mostly on the radio for me.
Right.
So, packed up, got back. And after a long drive, you just have to sit in your vehicle and just decompress. So I was doing that, had the radio on. I heard the goal. I thought, oh my gosh, this is brilliant. 90 seconds later, he scores again. I couldn't get the steering lock on quick enough. I'm out straight into the local. Excellent.
I hope you left it there, got a cab home. Please tell us you did.
Yeah, it's round the corner from my house.
Oh, I say, that's good. That's brilliant. Yeah. Good man, Chi. Thanks very much. There we are, Chi, the Blues fan, who's looking forward to Jude Bellingham coming back. I don't think it's going to be next season.
No.
Even with Tom Brady's money, it might take slightly longer to prize him away from Madrid. It's true, wasn't it? Guy Mowbray was saying in commentary, talking about the atmosphere. My wife was saying to me, he's got this smart, he's absolutely loving playing in this game.
Yeah.
And Alan Shearer was saying, why'd you get into football for nights like this, just go out and enjoy it. And he looked like he was not buckled by the pressure. He looked like he was really enjoying himself.
Brilliant player.
Brian Chiretta's going to join us for a chat later on, our US football correspondent, who we've spoken to for a long time. It'd be interesting to get his take on what's gone on with Balogun headed to this early morning game, of course, live on talkSPORT against Belgium. Very controversial. Before that, though, we'll bring you Portugal v Spain. Terry Gibson, Spanish football expert and former Spurs, Manchester United, Cov and Don's frontman, will be telling us a bit more about that game. We'll try and squeeze in a few more of your calls. Jim and Simon back at base with you at 1, and that's all to come.
Tuchel won the Champions League with Chelsea on the back of not playing particularly attractive football, finding their way through games. So I don't think he really cares how England play as long as they win. And that's his mindset, and he will take the positive out of it. We won. We kept on going towards the end. Well, so you should. And with due respect to the Congolese, their game fell away as the game went on, and they became stretched and tired, and for whatever reason, England were able to get themselves back in the game because of the excellence of Harry Kane. Poor goalkeeper on the first goal, which got us back in the game. Brilliant second goal. But you look at it, you go, Declan Rice is like a machine hitting dead balls in there. Look at the first 3 or 4 corners that he hit in. Bang, first man, bang, first man, bang, first man. All of a sudden he starts changing his corners to balloons across the box because he seems to have his confidence gone. You look at Rice and you look at Saka when they come on, they look knackered. They look like players that have been in a long season and haven't got it. And ironically for England, Declan looked better at right back than what we've got, and that might be a conundrum for Thomas Tuchel that he changes that. But I look across the field, Rashford no end products. Madueke, no end products. You know, you look defensively, the goalkeeper doesn't worry me so much because goalkeepers make mistakes. That's what happens in games every now and again. And sometimes Pickford makes wonderful saves. But I look at it and say, that is not a team, in my mind, that has any chance of winning this World Cup when it comes up against serious opposition.
What makes this remarkable is how differently you two see it.
Well, I think if you're English, you're going to see it with emotion as well. And I don't have any emotion in this. Like the only person on the whole team that I played with and know is Harry Kane. I want him to do well, and he is doing well, and he's scoring loads of goals. But I don't want him to do well so much.
But Simon's assessment, it's not just emotional, Brad.
No, it's
kind of on the money, isn't it?
Well, his assessment is his assessment. It's his opinion, and he's right about a lot of the things.
Do you not think there feels an awful lot more wrong than right about this England side?
No, see, that's where we're going to differ. I think defensively, and especially the right back, I think they're having a hard time.
We've all seen one of these before, right? The old heavy leather book. No, not that one. That one. Used in World Cups and football as a whole for years back in the day. It's a far cry from modern balls made from synthetic materials full of sensors for VAR and goal line technology. So when did the switch happen? Up until 1970, it was generally the rule of thumb that the host nation would provide the ball. The balls were always made from leather, usually with a vulcanized rubber interior, the same stuff they make tennis balls from. But in rainy and muddy conditions, the ball would absorb loads, and it was like playing with a brick. In 1970, Adidas were tasked with creating their first ball, and they came up with this icon, the Telstar. Despite its new, sleek look, it was a handful for goalkeepers and pretty unpleasant to head with. So in 1974, Adidas came out with the Telstar Durlast, the first synthetically coated ball that would be resistant to water and mud, and generally wouldn't wear as badly. The next major breakthrough came during the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, where Adidas placed an alien-like sensor in the middle of the ball, tracking every touch at 500 hertz to aid referees in offside decisions and handball calls. But in essence, it's the same ball developed by Adidas over 40 years ago.
Rafael Leao now puts in a good looking ball, it's headed and it's in!
Rafael Leao with big moments, setting up the second goal, the winning goal. Anything positive that did happen for Portugal tonight came through him. Spain will certainly approach the game differently to the way Croatia did tonight. I think it'll be almost toe-to-toe, a sparring match, and they'll go at each other, and that will allow spaces for the likes of Rafael Leao, who was very, very good tonight. Pedro Neto on the opposite side, they have the pace, they have the quality to cause Spain some problems.
Correa plays it into the area for Oyarzabal to finish it off. Another picture book Spanish goal. And make no mistake, they are back. Suddenly, they look a team to fear.
When Pedro Porro scoring from headers, maybe you feel your name's on the trophy.
Spain have been a lot better than Portugal. They should win tonight. They should.
They played very well against Austria. They've been picking up a head of steam. Anyway, let's speak to someone who watches a lot of Spanish football. The Spanish football expert, former Dons, Cov, Spurs, and Manchester United frontman Terry Gibson. Hiya, Terry.
Good afternoon, Job boys. Watching a lot of Spanish football is an understatement. I think. I was thinking last night. I think I've watched every single game that Jude Bellingham has played for Real Madrid.
Really?
So I was delighted that he's doing so well, because so many people don't watch him as much as I do, and they haven't recognised the talent that there is. So I was delighted last night, of course, like everyone else, with the win, and his performance is superb.
What was your approach to watching it last night, Terry? What did you do?
Oh, it was a doddle. I'm out in the United States. I'm out in Florida, so it was a perfect time. I had the irritation of a delayed kickoff, but only till 9 o'clock. So it was easy. So
Are
it was easy to watch.
you in that part of the world until Saturday? You're going to try and get a ticket for Miami?
Do you know, I hadn't even thought about that. I presume the chances are not very high. So
Well, if
I'm
we
going up to New York next week. So
Oh, okay. Look, if we do hear of one before Saturday and it's under 15 grand, we'll let you know. So, yeah, Spain against Austria. Again, not the greatest opposition, but they played better, didn't they? They do seem to be game by game growing into it.
yeah, it's been a troublesome sort of group stage for them. With no Nico Williams, of course, Victor Munoz, Jeremy Pino. So they've had three wide players missing that they could have done with. But they have got better as the games have gone on. They even managed to hold Cape Verde to a 0-0 draw, which at the time we thought was, what a ridiculous scoreline that was, but it turned out to be pretty decent. They haven't conceded a goal. And in the Austria game in particular, was the first time I thought that they really clicked. They beat Saudi Arabia 4-0, but that was expected. But against Austria, they just looked like I still think there's room for improvement as well. But it doesn't matter. They've got to do the job today. They're against Portugal, formidable opponents. This really could go either way. I think Spain are slight favourites, but it's a massive game of football today in the World Cup with two teams that are quite capable of both winning it, whoever goes through.
What's the case for Portugal, though? They haven't been great, and they've got this problem with Ronaldo. You know, how long should he play, and all this sort of thing. Do you really think they can trouble Spain?
Yeah, I think when you look at the players, I mean, you're still looking at the midfield, Coutinho, João Neves and Bruno Fernandes. It kind of matches up against the Spain's team. You've got Lamine Yamal is going to be the danger man for Spain, but Nuno Mendes is as good a left back as you'll find. So I think it's just getting the formula right for Roberto Martinez. We forget as well that the Spaniard managing Portugal against Spain today.
Oh, yeah.
I think getting the formula right up front is important. Now, do you start with Ronaldo or finish with Ronaldo? I think he'll start with Ronaldo because that's what he has been doing. If there's any change to that, he'll have to be in agreement with Ronaldo. Do you fancy starting? Maybe not finishing the game. It could go to extra time. Or do you fancy coming off the bench for the last 30 minutes? So it is a problem for Roberto Martinez. It's Ronaldo's last dance. Do you want to be the manager that axes him and you get beat? It's a big call.
I was saying to your fellow Spanish expert, Phil Kitramanides, last week, Terry, that I was impressed with just how much of a team player Lamine Yamal is, how he's looking for the pass, how he's got his head up. He's not, for one of the young superstars, you think he'd just be head down trying to beat players, but he's been impressive from that point of view.
Yeah, he has, Paul, and he's still only 18, and he's learning the game. I mean, he's the big reason why I think there's room for improvement from Spain. He's getting better. He's better in the last game. But he threatened. He didn't really deliver against Austria. There were so many times where he thought, well, that's brilliant. He's beat one, he's beat two, couldn't beat the third player, or his cross wasn't exactly as he should be. So I think he's grown into the tournament because of the injury issue that he had going into the tournament. But if he can if he can win that battle today against Nuno Mendes, that's so important. But Lamine Yamal is just a fabulous player to watch. Even when I watched him the other day and people were saying, oh, that was fantastic, that was brilliant. When you watch him as much as I do, you know there's more to come. I think Alex Baena on the other side surprised a lot of people who were not that familiar with him. Nico Williams is fit, but not going to be starting the game today. As I said, Jeremy Pino, Victor Munoz, all can come off the bench to play in the wide position, but Lamine Yamal is massively key for Spain.
Oyarzabal's been scoring a lot of the goals. Have you been surprised by that?
No. I think he scored the winning goal in the European Championship final against England. It's a really good story, this one, because he was a left winger that picked up an ACL injury, and it probably took him 2 years to get back to fitness. He looked like he'd lost a yard of pace and was then adapted to play as a centre forward. Every now and then he played centre forward, but he wasn't really convincing. His form for Spain as a centre forward has been phenomenal. Not so much for Real Sociedad until the new manager came in. So seeing him play as a striker now, overcoming those injury issues that he had. I mean, not all players sail through an ACL. They don't all come back. They're exactly the same. It took him a long time to get back to fitness, to the stage where you actually thought, is he ever going to be the same player again? Well, he is now. And he's, whilst, and Mbappe and Haaland and Harry Kane are scoring goals left, right and centre. He is crucial for Spain. He's not involved in the game much, but he's a really sensational finisher.
Can you see them winning it finally, Terry? Do you think they've got it in them to win it from what you've seen so far and what of the opposition as well?
Yeah, I think there's a group of teams that we all thought would possibly win it. There's some dark horses now, which are big surprises. But I think Spain and even Portugal, I'd say as well. I think the winner this time, either team could win it. So I think, Spain, if they've got continued their improvement, they've got to knock out Portugal. That's not easy. But there are potential winners, that's for sure. And possibly France stand ahead of them. But it's the usual suspects, isn't it? As I say, but it's a pleasant surprise to see some surprise teams that are involved in it. The USA, Norway, teams like that think they can win it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
I hope not.
No, it's only from an England point of view. Well, enjoy your day, Terry. Appreciate you joining us so early as you're in the States. And as I say, if we do have any tickets, we'll let you know. All the best.
A pleasure. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Andy.
There's Terry Gibson out there in Florida, Spanish football expert. Our thanks to him. We're going to be in the States again with Brian Sciaretta, a man we often turn to on football in the States. It's been very controversial, this overturning of the Following Balogun ban. We'll get Brian's take on that and what the mood is over there heading into this game and USA's chances against Belgium. But first, we check in once again with Lisa O'Sullivan, watching it all unfold at Wimbledon.
Well, Paul, if your mind hasn't been entirely on the tennis over the last few days, here's what's been happening. She may have ended up watching the footy because world number one Aryna Sabalenka's plan yesterday was to get completely drunk and forget about tennis after losing in straight sets to Naomi Osaka in the last 16. Coco Gauff had to dig deep to make the quarterfinals. Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner still look like meeting in the semi-finals. So today, the Philippines will be tuning in as new front page star Alex Ayala returns after winning fans around the world. Jasmine Paolini's been here before. She knows how that feels. And we'll be talking fairy tales in the second match on centre. Grigor Dimitrov bringing a little magic to the battle of the wildcards. Is he on a Goran Ivanisevic run to the title? Or will it be a fairy tale for local lad Arthur Ferry? Played his first five-setter, the longest match he's played. He's into the world's top 100. Second week at a slam, all at home, 5 minutes from where he grew up. It's going to be another great day on centre court.
Thank you very much,
Very
Lisa.
good.
Yeah, very, very good. I watched the England game from the FIFA fan zone in Mexico City, says Tim
that
from
must have been
Leicester.
good.
Amazing experience, and atmosphere was unreal. Was literally soaking it all in as the rain was next level. It did look pretty unbearable, didn't it? You could see it sort of coming down, but... Thank you very much for that. I did the same sleep routine as Paul by the sound of it. Back to bed for the delayed hour. Good news, it's my birthday today, so no work And off to the calf for a fry-up. Richard, the confident or deluded Spurs fan from Basildon. Thank you very much for that. Andy, I've been watching you on Smart TV, and I can see you. Are you crossing off your notes as you present them to us, or are you aggressively eliminating teams on your World Cup wall chart?
I do both.
That's Ant the Pompey fan. So, yeah, you are. You're marking. And he doodles. He does some very good doodles.
You heard it.
Yeah, look at that. Andy's he does little drawings. Who have you drawn today, Andy?
Oh, no, there we are.
That's the camera. Who have you drawn today?
Oh, nobody really.
Just mad doodles. Okay, fair enough.
I don't even think about them really.
Anyway, off to the States then before we hand over to Jim and Simon, who are back from New York and in the studio with you through until 4. We're here with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com.
That is a performance that will give everyone who's English across the world belief that we can win the World Cup. They fought like lions. They went to the Coliseum and they stood up against the intimidating fan base. 87,000 attendance, probably 82,000 Mexicans. The altitude, no problem.
Yeah.
Heroes, all of them, every single player.
And I agree. You know, watch every minute of it, because within that, you've got goals, penalties, woodwork being hit, red cards, all sorts of other things going on around the pitch.
Incredible, Jeff.
Well, I think at the end, I saw somebody tweet that it was a Tuchel tactical masterclass. Now, I disagree with that.
Okay.
Because I think that certainly second half, this was down to willpower, determination, and grit.
Yes.
And every single England player showed that. And I mean, I've got players that I want to single out, but what about you, Gabby? Who would you single out?
I think Jordan Pickford was fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, with Troy Deeney saying that we can't win the World Cup with Pickford, I'm sure he'll take those comments back, knowing Troy is a good guy. I thought Anthony Gordon was fantastic, did everything that was needed, and I thought Jude Bellingham was a standout player. 2 goals, he was the clearance off the line in the first half, the end of the first half, the way he was running with the ball, he was like a man possessed. But it's hard to even give anyone a standout performance because they all fought like lions. Like you said, Jeff, maybe not a tactical masterclass, but the way he went to a 5, the way he brought Dan Burn on, do you know what I mean? I think that worked in our favour as well. And such a heroic performance, and I agree with you.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Thanks for letting us know how and where you watched. In Porto, watched outside a kebab shop. What about that? Mexican bar up the street was rammed. Their TV a few seconds ahead of us, so we could hear the big moments beforehand. Weird, nerve-shattering experience. But went to the hotel and bed happy. So outside a kebab shop in Porto is right up there with the weirdest places to have watched today. Thanks for all of those. Let's hear from Thomas Tuchel. He was asked about Gerald Quanz's red card following Balogun's red being suspended and it being overturned by FIFA.
Where does this start and where does this end now? Can we overturn it or not overturn it, or what
is that something that
what is going on?
You'll seek to pursue, because, like you say, there's surely a chance. Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, where to draw the line is the question that I ask. I have no answer to that. Where does this end now? Do we appeal if a yellow card is not a yellow card? Do we think it's not a red card, or who thinks it? Where does this start and where does this end? Is my question. I don't have an answer.
That's Thomas Tuchel. I mean, I think Gerald Quanz's was a red card, and I think we all accept that, and we all move on. To be honest, Florian Balogun didn't deserve a red card. Not in my eyes. It was a mistake. It wasn't even clumsy. It was just an error. It was just his foot came down on the player, but it was a red card, which meant he had to be suspended. There's no appeals process in place unless you're the president and you ring up Gianni Infantino, and then suddenly there is a process, much as there was when it looked like Ronaldo might miss a couple of games. It smells, quite honestly. UEFA have hit out. Belgium aren't happy. And, of course, most right-thinking football fans aren't. But it does mean one of the most important players for the USA will play against Belgium overnight, as far as we're concerned. Brian Chiretta.
Murphy's Law will probably score, you know.
He probably will. Yeah. Brian Chiretta joins us now, man. We often turn to on football in the States. Hi, Brian.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me on.
There's a lot of anger about this, understandably. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, I was very surprised that it happened. I was not anticipating the red card being rescinded. It's not good. I think there's a generally Tuchel's right. Where does it end? It doesn't even matter if you thought the red card was correct or not, but it was awarded, and they just kind of created a process when there is none outlined.
Whether that's going to be enough, but it will be part, I'm sure, of Roberto Martinez's team talk. They're going to be fired up for this, I think, aren't they? They're going. What am I talking about? Roberto Martinez. He's gone. He's not there anymore.
No, I know you mean.
Garcia.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what. Maybe I think it was his old job. But they are going to be fired. They are.
Whoever it is.
Sorry, I've had about 3 hours sleep, right? But they are going to be fired up by this, and the Belgian FA are talking about going to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. It's going to add an edge to a game that kind of didn't really need it, because there's a lot at stake, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes these things work out in different ways, right? Like, you think if one team benefits, but it only serves as motivation for other teams. It's not just this event; it's just how things typically work in sport. So it wouldn't surprise me if this just gives Belgium a chip on its shoulder when it didn't really have one. I mean, this is going to be a tough game for Belgium. It's going to be a tough game for both teams. But Belgium's going to be walking into a very hostile environment, and not many fans. The U.S. team has all the momentum at its back. And this can kind of just give Belgium a little bit of a source of momentum when it's been kind of so they've been playing better, but the tournament's been, I think, it's a little bit up and down, considering, the first two games weren't that great.
No, I agree with that. I think US have looked better than Belgium, so you'd expect them to, and with home advantage, you expect them to win.
We spoke to our betting partners earlier on BetMGM. Belgium are favourites, Brian, which surprised us, because I would, like Andy said, I would make you marginal favourites tonight.
Well, I mean, they played in March, and Belgium won 5-2 in Atlanta. So, I mean, the U.S. was missing a couple of players here, but I mean, that's the nature of a friendly. No one's ever rarely at 100%. And sure, Balogun played in that game. I mean, they were missing Tyler Adams and Chris Richards, which I think is significant. But losing 5-2. You shouldn't ever be the favorites against that same team, with only just a couple of months between games.
Chris Richard.
Sorry, serious question. If there's a controversial penalty tonight in the last minute for Belgium, is Trump going to get onto Infantino? So I think the game should be played again. You'd be surprised, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there'll have to come a point where the president can't get involved, Brian, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that should have been like decades ago. But yeah, it's like I don't know. Like they opened up a can of worms that man, I don't know how it's gonna. I don't know how you're gonna get it back in the box. It's this is bad news.
Maurizio Pochettino said, in light of it, he said, "My reaction is like everyone. I love the sport and trust the ethical integrity of it." And you're thinking, wow, maybe on that basis he won't play Balogun as a matter of what's the word I'm looking for? Principle. That's right.
never going to happen.
But then he says we celebrate the decision. So it sounds like he will start him.
Oh, of course. I mean, I think he's Pochettino's found his starting 11 that he prefers when everyone's healthy. He started against Paraguay. He started against Bosnia. He couldn't start it in the other two games, but it's been victorious both ways. I've outscored opponents 6-1 with this lineup. So yeah, he's definitely going to roll with it.
Who does the winner play? I'm really confused.
Oh yeah, Brian can tell us who's up next if the USA come through, Brian.
Spain or Portugal.
Wow. Okay. Nice easy game.
Yeah.
And look out for a rubber chicken that used to belong to a Palace fan that was thrown on the pitch after the Conference League final that Chris Richards picked up, which is called Paxo Croix, the rubber chicken. Apparently it's become the unofficial mascot of the USA national team. So if you see a rubber chicken being hoisted in the air after a USA's win, we'll now know. Brian, enjoy the game. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks very much, guys.
Brian Charetta there over there in New York. That's our second game tonight, USA-Belgium. We bring you Portugal-Spain first. As you probably gathered from the last couple of minutes where I couldn't think of the word principal and thought Roberto Martinez was still the manager of Belgium, the lack of sleep has finally caught up with me. Thankfully, there's only about 2 minutes left of the show. So we'll after some much-needed shut-eye, for us and you, I'm sure, we will catch up with you tomorrow from 10. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate all your calls, emails, tweets, etc. today. It's been a lot of fun. So coming up next, though, they're back in the UK after their fantastic stint in New York. It's Jim White and Simon Jordan coming up next.
Let's go to Chris, the West Ham and England fan. Chris, good morning. What did you make of the game, mate?
Good morning, guys. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. I'm in the summer house now. I've been here all night with my guide dog. I listened to the Brazil game against Norway, and then I stayed up, and I know it delayed to 2 o'clock in the morning, but I thought, right, I'm still going to stay up because I stayed up all that time. Absolutely fantastic. I think we'll go all the way, boys and girls. It will go all the way. Because that was a big test today, this morning. Now we can. I think we'll have no fear against Norway, and then it's toss a coin because I think Argentina will be in the semi-final. It's a toss a coin between England and Argentina to get to the final, and we'll get to the final. We're going to win it. How about that,
Chris? You know you're in your man cave, right? Could you feel the pride?